A prominent Chinese scientist has been allowed back in his lab.
The first scientist to publish a sequence of the COVID-19 virus in China says he's been allowed back into work after days of protest. Zhang Yongzhen posted online early Wednesday that authorities had tentatively agreed to allow him and his team to return to his lab and continue their research for now. Zhang had been staging a sit-in protest outside the lab since the weekend after he and his team were suddenly notified they had to leave it, a sign of Beijing's continuing pressure on scientists conducting research on the coronavirus. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Poland's chief rabbi says Warsaw's main synagogue was firebombed overnight by an unknown perpetrator, but the building sustained only minimal damage and no one was hurt. Poland's political leaders have quickly and strongly denounced the arson attack. News and analysis at townhall.com. Authorities taking action against a commonly used substance.
The EPA finalizing a ban on consumer uses of methylene chloride, a chemical widely used as a paint stripper but known to cause liver cancer. Experts say the action will protect Americans from health risk while allowing certain commercial uses to continue with robust worker protections. Methylene chloride emits a toxic vapor the EPA says killed 88 workers since 1980. The chemical industry says the EPA is overstating the risk. Jason Walker reporting.
Payroll processor ADP reports America's employers added 192,000 private sector jobs last month. And then today, the Federal Reserve will announce its latest decision on interest rates. Economists predict there will be no change in rates. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Happy
Wednesday. Happy end of. It was a long. It felt like the month of April went for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, it was a long month.
And I think a big reason for that was because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, but it's finally time.
Yes.
Because today. It's gonna be May. I have been waiting for that one. It's gonna be May. Yes.
That's right.
It's officially May.
Pound for pound, I think the month of May is the most pun-worthy month of all the months of the year.
It's definitely up there.
I mean, we got May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
You know, we crowbar our... it seems like May just seems the month that people like to throw...
March is pretty good, too, with Pi Day, and there's a few of them there, too. But May is... I think May is probably the most involved with the name itself.
Yeah. And let's face it. I think the overall general happiness of people in America probably in May than more than March, because they're starting to think about summer plans. You know, we're on the cusp of the summer season.
We're getting super excited for what's to come.
So I think the overall general mindset of the people is a little bit more positive in May.
Sure.
So,
It's I mean, it's definitely, you know, I think the warmth brings something out of people. Although yesterday it was just too hot.
Yeah.
It was 90 something yesterday, I think.
Well, today you get that.
It's a mirror image, I know.
Oh, no. It's not. You get to add wind to the fact.
Well,
variable
honestly,
today.
at 90s, I'll take the wind.
Yeah, we got
Once
red
you
flag warnings today.
Once you get over like 100 to 105 degrees, that's when it's like hot, dusty wind. At least at 94, it'll cool you off while you're sweating, you know?
Yeah. Well, unless it's just a constant, and then you're just living in a hairdryer.
Dude, I walked into my home yesterday with full intentions at the evening, full intentions of cooking dinner.
Yes.
And then I walked into my house, and those plans were gone. Like, I'm turning an oven on inside of an oven.
No, he made a beverage, though. I saw your beverage of the night.
I had to
you kind of got a daily beverage now, don't you?
Oh, well, somebody, and I wasn't even going to do one, but somebody's like, what's the drink of the night? I'm like, oh, great, now I got to come up with one. So actually, it's fun. I've been using and now, okay, I in no way, shape, or form endorse AI. I don't like AI. Any and all AI images I've ever seen are cursed.
But he'll use the Hades out of it.
But I have been using the Meta AI app to come up with fancy drink variations.
Okay.
Because basically, there's some that, you know, I'll go online and find, you know, actual drinks that exist. I don't have all of the stuff for that yet. So if you go to like Meta AI, you can be like, okay, give me something that's refreshing with the following ingredients.
Okay.
And they'll whip you up something. So the one I had last night was called...
Is that an AI thing, though, or is that just a Google thing?
It could be a Google thing, honestly.
Because I've literally done that with food.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, look, I got chicken, I got this. Give me a recipe that has these things. And usually I get a list of things that kind of...
I haven't tried just using the Google yet, but that would be a shot. But the one I did last night, it was called a rum spark. It was actually
rum spark.
Yeah, because this is what I typed.
They said a rum fart. I was like,
no, rum spark. This is what I typed. I typed a refreshing cocktail with sweetened lime syrup, rum, and bitters, and simple syrup, and then it came up with that particular combination.
Nice.
Yeah.
So have you had any stinkers yet? Have they all been pretty good?
There's been a couple that I'm like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of the more like the vermouth heavy drinks. I'm not crazy
Not a
about those.
fan?
No. I like I do like a nice bourbon. I like a nice wood, you know, a woody flavor. So, but I'm kind of finding my palate.
All right. Well, good for you, man.
Yeah, surfing around, running through a lot of citrus.
Well,
I'm keeping farmers in business.
go online and just recommend, and about 50 people will tell you their favorite hooch and booze out there. You know, especially your whiskey and bourbon folks.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be hitting you with your high ends.
Well, see, that's when you get the hoity-toities. They're like,
Yeah.
well, did you get yourself a bottle of allocated bourbon? It's
Yes.
like, no, because it's $179.
Well, this barrel was aged in a Chilean mine for 37 years, and then they put it on an ocean liner where it sat at sea for 10 years, and now
Volcanic ash was rubbed into the wood grain
right.
of the barrel that this was soaked in.
That's right. A dragon from Narnia blew its fire on this barrel.
Check this out. You see that right there? That's Prince Harry's eyelash. Feeling pretty special now, aren't you?
It gives it an oak flavor.
That's right.
I should have said ginger.
Super small batch.
Should have said ginger.
Should have said ginger.
It was on the fly. Next time.
But
well, it's cool. It sounds like you're having fun.
it's fun to kind of experiment. What I compared it to was it's like in Harry Potter. It's kind of like going to potions class.
There you go.
Because you got to like learn like different combinations.
It's chemistry.
and- yeah.
Cooking and bartending is chemistry at the end of the day. That's all
There's
it is.
different infusions, different syrups that you can learn to make.
Yeah.
I actually got this stuff called it's called butterfly pea flower powder. So there's a certain bud that grows only in like certain parts of India.
Okay.
And it's super blue.
All right.
It's completely flavorless. It just turns whatever you put it into super blue.
Okay.
So like I'm going to infuse some of those with that blue, but then when you put lime or a certain other pH of liquid into it, it changes color.
Okay.
It goes from blue to like a pink or like a rose color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all science.
Call it make the drink with it, and then in honor of Culture Club, call it Camellia.
I did. Now this was the last thing I did last night. I did not make this beverage because I don't have all of the things required. But just out of boredom, I was like, give me a recipe for a whole new, never before made drink that I shall call Stefan.
Oh.
Name of my cat. So it came up with something with honey syrup, lavender liqueur. I got to get cardamom bitters, edible flower, or a sprig of rosemary for garnish.
Wow.
It's very fancy.
I'm about to say, sounds like it.
My cat's very fancy.
Yeah.
He eats only the fanciest of feasts.
Yeah, you know what? Have some fun with that one time and come up with the most just off-the-wall names for a drink and see what it gets you.
Well, when I was growing up, and I have yet to have this cocktail, but I've heard of it. Growing up, we had a cat named Harvey Wallbanger.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of the Harvey Wallbanger. Yeah.
But it was just because he used to like jump off, like bounce off walls and stuff. So we were like, your name is Harvey Wallbanger.
Yeah.
So I've yet to try one, but we did have a cat growing up named Harvey Wallbanger. We also had a dog named Sweet Polly Purebred, but that was from Underdog.
Now I'm wondering if there's someone out there some alcoholic out there's got a cat person, and all their cats are named like Holly Wallbanger. Just very
Negroni,
strange.
get in here.
Come here, Tom Collins.
Sidecar, come on.
Oh, that's my cat, Tom Collins.
That's Cosmo over there.
And I mean, if he runs out of names, like, here's Jim Beam.
Right? Scotch over there.
Maker's Mark, come on in.
Oh, look at he's got way too many cats, honestly.
Yeah.
Once he got the Glenlivet, you knew it was too
See,
much.
that's a little high end for me. I'm like, come here,
Miller High Life.
Boone's Farm.
$2 Chuck, come on in here. You can't find $2 Chuck around here.
No,
it's
I think it's
like
more of a California
it's a
thing.
Trader Joe Aldi's thing.
Oh, so you got to get them in Trader
Yeah.
Joe's, which we don't have. By the way, and I haven't looked it up, but over the last 2 days, I've been seeing ad nauseum commercials for this restaurant.
Okay.
And I don't even know if there's one in New Mexico, to be honest, or wherever. Marco's Pizza.
I've been seeing a lot of those too.
And the pizza, and I don't know if it's good pizza or ghetto pizza. I'm not going to lie. The commercial makes the pizza look kind of tasty.
Well, it's doing its job.
But I'm also smart enough to know, yeah, of course it does. They're not going to put sad-looking food on there.
Yeah.
But I'm just
art
curious,
behind
like, where does one find a Marco's?
Let's see.
Are they like in like the East Coast or something? But they advertise nationally.
Yeah.
Like I see them all the time on. Like you can't watch like Bar Rescue or one of these shows without Marco's Pizza popping up in there.
Let's see. Well, Marco's.
Oh, while you're doing that, I'm going to give the rundown.
You should give me the rundown.
We do have a full slate for you here in just a few minutes. We're going to have the folks from the Roswell Chamber join us. Andrew Moore and Gary Thriner patiently waiting while we say dumb things. So they're going to join us
This
here.
is important banter.
You're right. It is true.
That's right.
It's important banter. So we'll get an update what's happening through the chamber from them in just a few. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had with Tom from Money Mo, him from Uncle Sud's Laundry. But he's got the grand opening of his newest, funnest, most awesomest thing called Game Day Roswell, which is right next door. And it's open now, but they're having the big grand opening May 4th. Go Star Wars if you want. You don't have to. It's up to you.
Well,
But
the games are going to be old school. Why don't you go old school too? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And so, if you want to come and they're going to be doing, he's got it's cool. It's got, it's like a club for video games and darts, and it's just
I'm
fun
legitimately
place.
excited to go check this place out on Saturday because I was that kid. I used to go to the arcade. You slap your quarter down on the thing, and you're like, I got next.
Yeah.
But now you can do that with booze.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's like a whole new experience.
But so he's having his grand opening here on Saturday. So we're going to play that interview in the 8 o'clock hour.
Yes.
And then in the 9 o'clock hour, by 9:15, we're going to replay our interview on Friday. We had Sheriff Mike Harrington and Lieutenant Charles Drake join us, give us an update what they got going on. So we'll play that for you here around 9:15.
Indeed. I'm seeing a lot of them in El Paso and Lubbock.
Okay.
There's like 3 or 4 locations
So
in
Texas
El Paso
has
and
them.
Lubbock. They have some in Tucson, Wichita Falls, Lawton, Oklahoma, Colorado Springs. So yeah, nowhere around
No
us.
in New Mexico, but you can go
Completely surrounding us.
So
But,
basically the closest is Lubbock,
yeah.
which is
About
not
3
bad
hours.
for us.
Yeah,
It's-
but you want to drive 3 hours for a pizza, I think there's better stuff to eat in Lubbock than Marco's.
I would think too, yeah. But I figure if I'm going to Lubbock, and if I'm staying there which I don't do very often, but if I
Right.
did, and I'm thinking, you know what? Let's finally try Marco's Pizza and see what that's all about. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do that one day.
There you go.
I'm not going to lie. I've seen because I've seen commercials like last year or two for them, pretty heavy. And the pizzas look good, but they were showing something a couple months ago, some weird calzone wrap thing that they're, and I'm not going to lie, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, that looks kind of ghetto. And
The new one I saw at one of the pizza places here in town, I'm like, usually they look pretty good, but in the
Yeah.
ad, it's called the hamburger queso pizza, and it's just got like that chili con queso on top essentially.
yeah.
But that does not look good on a pizza. I don't feel like.
I bet it's delicious, but yeah, it's kind of like putting hamburger helper on a pizza.
It just doesn't look appealing.
Yeah.
It just looks like somebody hurled on a pizza.
I'm not gonna lie, some tasty foods I've had though, they look like throw up.
That's true. One of the best meals I ever created was butter chicken.
Yeah.
Like the Indian dish butter chicken. And yes, it did look like somebody threw up on my plate. But gosh, was it good.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta let her rip.
That's right.
All right, 7:18. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Warm, windy. That's what we got. Hey, is that a drink? A warm and windy?
It will be.
Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind and very warm temperatures today. We're headed for the mid-90s on the afternoon high. Should get sunshine, wind gusting up to about 30 miles an hour. Overnight looks clear and breezy. Our lows in the upper 50s, and then we're expecting upper 80s for the afternoon high on Thursday. Still a little bit breezy, but not as windy, and we should get sunshine, sunny, and mid-80s on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 21% with winds currently out of the east at 3 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning that's going to kick in at 1 o'clock this afternoon, so wait for that to happen. That will remain in effect through 10 p.m. this evening. Sunny and 96 for a high today. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 this morning. This afternoon, 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30. So, yeah, that's windy, but I've seen worse. We live in South, but the humidity right now is at 21%, and but later this afternoon with the wind, that's hence the reason for the red flag warning. So don't be throwing your butts out the window and all that. Cigarette butts, your other butts, you do you. Cops might get you, but hang your butt out the window, that's on you. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 57. Winds will be out of the southwest, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. We'll see those winds drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Thursday, sunny and 90 with winds out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies, 89 for a high, north winds 5 to 10. For the weekend on Saturday, a slight chance of rain, 20% a chance of showers for the afternoon Saturday, mostly sunny and 86. 20% chance of rain Saturday night as well, and then mostly sunny on Sunday, 87 for a high there. And then looks like upper 80s and breezy on Monday when you head back to work and school. All right, 7:20, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then we'll talk with the fine folks from the Roswell Chamber on the other side. Don't go away.
Attend the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th this weekend at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center in Roswell, New Mexico. See dealers selling the finest in modern guns, antique guns, custom knives, ammo, scopes, Old West collectibles, and much more. Buy, sell, and trade at the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th. Gun aficionados, you don't want to miss out on this huge selection of ammo. Over 500,000 rounds of ammo on sale. Winchester, Remington, 9mm, Luger, 38 Special, and more. Buy, sell, and trade at the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th this weekend at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, 912 North Main Street in Roswell. Get $1 off admission. Go to azgunradio.com. That's azgunradio.com. Free parking.
Whether you're a homeowner, a landscaper, or a contractor, we all have reasons to dig. If you're planning to dig, this is just a friendly reminder that locating underground utilities is important. It's actually the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig. New Mexico Gas Company is one of the utilities that will come out free of charge to mark our underground lines up to the meter, so you'll know what's below. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Nybert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Nybert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Nybert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrew Moore and Gary Thrine back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's life treating you this morning?
Well, as I standardly say, optimistically fantastic.
There you go.
Absolutely.
The sun is out, and day's good so far.
That's
we haven't
right.
seen the wind yet, so you got out of bed. I guess the rest is
Right.
all gravy from here, right?
I'll just hold on to my fedora this afternoon.
That's right. I need a chin strap on that bad boy today.
Absolutely.
Like the old Kevlar helmet.
That's right.
We'll get everybody out of our luncheon this afternoon, hopefully before the winds kick
Yeah,
in.
hopefully by the time...
That'll be the time clock. We'll be like, you guys got to go.
That's right. That'll be oh, I heard the wind hitting the walls. It's time to wrap her up. But yes, today, and we'll get to that here in just a second, but there is a bevy of stuff going on as we're getting to warmer weather, and we're starting to look towards the summer now and things like that. Things are hopping around town, and the chamber's getting busy. Our business after hours are back in action. Our pretty much our full slate. Actually, we're kind of in a hiatus where we just wrapped up a certain slate of our monthly meetings, and some will start going into hiatus for the summer here. But we still got a lot going on with just pretty much. It seems like we're kind of coming out of some kind of coma nap. Not just the chamber. I mean, just the town.
Life
is
community,
and things
absolutely.
are happening now a little bit. So it's kind of as the weather's getting a little nicer, and people are wanting to plan events and things like that. So there's a ton of stuff going on.
We do. In fact, on this Friday at the chamber, we have partnered with Roswell Independent School District for a job fair.
Yes.
So this is the time of year that the school district is looking to fill spots not only for the summer, but for next year. So if that is something that you are wanting and or needing, if you're looking for a job, come out to the chamber, 131 West 2nd, starting about 9 a.m., and they are going to have representatives from every department.
Yeah, it's every level.
So you don't have to just be a teacher or an administrator.
I was seeing the flyer that they were having, and it was everything from substitute custodians to regular custodians to substitute food staff to regular.
Exactly.
So even the backups, substitute teaching
Yes.
to even, and I was thinking, and I think I saw on the flyer, like the full-time teaching position starting at close to $70,000 or something like that. Yeah.
So it's everything that you can think of that has to do with running the school district. Like you said, if you want to do cafeteria, lunch lady type stuff, if you want to be a custodian, if you want to be full-time, if you want to be part-time, they have all kinds of positions open. And
we get the resume.
So
polished up here.
Bring your resume and come speak with the school district, and they'll get you plugged in pretty quick.
As a just pro tip, be prepared to interview and everything.
Yes.
So come dressed for success. Present yourself in a way that don't come in there in a tuxedo or a formal dress or anything. That might be a little over the top.
I mean, I guess if you're so
if you want to.
you
it'll
definitely
turn heads.
make an impression.
You come in there with a top hat and tails, and somebody's going to notice you. but be smart about it. Present yourself in a way like you're trying to make people like you.
Yes.
And so think about it that way, and
Dress for success.
Dress for success.
That's right.
Come and then like you said, be prepared to interview.
Yes.
So they're going to ask you questions.
And it was
things.
very successful last year when we partnered with the school district. So we are anticipating it to be even better because, like I said, they're even willing to hire on the spot and let you know what's going on.
And these are family building careers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where there's benefits and all the things. This isn't. I mean.
Be the backbone of the educational system,
Yes,
like NCOs are the backbone of the military.
Exactly. Yeah, these are folks that you can build your family on and say, hey, this is something that me and my family can support and have a career with through the RASD. So
correct.
Come out Friday here and bring those resumes and come. Who knows? You might change your whole life by a visit to the chamber on Friday.
That's absolutely.
Yep.
So come on out Friday. And then on May 16th, we have a grand opening / business after hours at Roswell Aesthetics.
Yes.
That is 404 North Kentucky. So it's over there next to the RISD administration building
Kind
on
of right
Kentucky.
in the, I guess, kind of the historical district. I guess
Correct.
you call that area. Yeah.
And Roswell Aesthetics has actually been around for a few years, but they're under new ownership.
Okay.
So they really want to re-invite the community out and show their new anestheticians and
Yeah, if you want to learn what
stylists and
they
stuff out
do,
there.
because there's a lot of big words in that name.
Yes,
so.
there's a lot. There's a lot. Basically, it has to do with a lot of beauty and
Is it more medical or more spa or a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both
I gotcha,
because
okay.
they do have licensed people, anestheticians and stuff. So like an anesthetician, for example, is actually licensed to do like Botox and the fine line
I gotcha,
erasers for older people.
Okay.
Well, younger people. I have a lot of friends that do it, and they're all ages.
Put it this way, I'm at the phase of my life where I'm seeing the commercials for Botox, and all the customers or clients are younger than me.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. So, and it's not just vanity stuff, but it's, it'll help with all of that kind of stuff. And they do so much more because they do a little bit of spa type stuff. They do facials and those types of things.
So it's got a foot in both worlds.
Yeah,
where if you're wanting some of the medical side too, but then it's also the pampering side.
And
of it.
and I know what they used to do, but they've added some new technicians over there. They've
And I
changed
imagine
some
technology
personnel around.
changes over. I mean, we're in that world where, especially in that world, you know what I
Yes,
mean? Where
it's changing every
you know,
day.
how they did it 10 years ago is probably way different than they do it now.
Correct.
It's just because the science changes that quick.
So that's on May 16th. And of course, our business after hours are always from 5 o'clock to 6:30. We really try to get the program going, and it's right after work. It's that in between work and dinner. So we really do try to get the program going and everybody in and out of the door.
Bring your business cards if you'd like.
That's right.
We play our little, everyone puts $1 in a business card in the fish bowl there, and we'll pull out at the end one of the cards, and the winner gets the pot.
Correct.
Cash and all the business cards.
And of course, there's always wonderful door prizes and
the host business usually puts on a little shindig for everybody, and a lot of times there's foods and things.
Yep, and you'll get a tour of the facility and get to meet everybody, so you'll know what's going on. We're really looking forward to
and
that.
who knows, they might even do quick facials and stuff if they're doing it. You know what I
They
mean?
might.
They might
I
have
don't
those
know.
kind
Gary
of things.
is our membership guru right now.
Well, also the Redcoats will be out there to do the ribbon cutting for the grand reopening.
The Redcoats make it official. Like it's
That's
never
right.
an official event until you see the Redcoats there in representation.
And we've had a lot of members join that have been kind of waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit and maybe the winds to die down before they scheduled their ribbon cuttings for coming on board as new members.
Maybe for the summer we need to make them red vests.
well, we switched to red polo shirts.
Red
in the
polos is
summertime.
probably good for summer. Yeah,
Because
we don't
it
want
is
no
a
one
little-
passing out.
little warm to be
in
wearing
sport
those
coats
jackets.
in June and July. Yeah, probably smart. But and by the way, speaking of Redcoats, we're always looking for new folks to come be a part of the family. It is the most family and by far the classiest part of the Roswell Chamber of Commerce is our Redcoats, and they are ambassadors. They are our front door to the chamber. And a staple in Roswell because you see a gaggle of people in road coats with giant scissors. The chamber's coming, and know the Redcoats are here, and you know what's about to happen. So they are our ambassadors, and always looking for fresh faces to come be a part of that. So come talk to the chamber if you're interested in being a Redcoat. Well, Gary will be happy to put you into the fold here and talk to you about the requirements and what's expected of you as a Redcoat.
Absolutely.
So.
And all new members, I do welcome anybody on your staff to join the Redcoats as a way to represent your organization and your company when we do all of our Redcoat ribbon cuttings.
It's a service organization like any other.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what it is.
And the time commitment is not a huge time commitment. The biggest time commitment is when we do our business after hours that you need to be there for about 2 hours. but most everything else that we do is 20, 30 minutes because you come in a few minutes prior to the ribbon cuttings.
Yeah.
Gary is great at making sure that we cut that ribbon right on time. So if a business says, hey, we're going to do it at 1 o'clock.
Gary does have a military background. And,
I'm telling
time
you
is
that at
on time you're late mindset.
12:59, he's lining everybody up, and he's like, it's time to cut that ribbon. Let's go, let's go, let's
on
go.
On time in military world is 5 minutes early. So
absolutely.
Right.
And
if you're on time, you're late.
So thankful for that. Because there are some times that we have gone to these events, and to no fault of anybody's, everybody's kind of doing their thing. They're trying to get all of their stuff lined up. And all of a sudden you look down and you're like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? So we need more people like Gary in our lives to say, let's go.
We need lives wranglers. Absolutely. But yeah, please reach out to Gary in the chamber if you'd love to. We'd love to have you part of it. We have a great group of people right now, but they're always looking for new folks to come in there and
absolutely.
And the great part is we work around your schedule, so we'll put, I'm sure there's a minimum number of events you have to do each month, and I don't know all the rules there. They'll tell you all that, but if you work it around your schedule, obviously and of course like Gary was saying, use this as a networking opportunity to promote your business or your organization. Because pretty much every event you're at is a schmoozing, glad handing, come meet the people kind of event. You're a welcomer, or host, so to speak. And so you get a chance to talk to a lot of people, which means you get to make a lot of connections there. So
absolutely.
Definitely do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My grandkids say, Grandpa, do you know everybody? And I say, no, I don't know everybody, but I'm working on it.
That's right.
We're getting close.
Absolutely. And then at the end of the month, we have partnered with NMMI alumni, and they're going to host their monthly get-together at the chamber because they're looking to get out into the community and really start
They're trying to kind of
doing their thing as well.
Assemble the alumni of NMMI that are still living in the area and get more involved in probably in NMMI.
Correct.
In whatever way, in getting and probably making sure they come out to some of the tentpole events that MMMI has every year, your homecomings and because that's part of the fun is to have a bunch of alumni in the stands for Saturday games or Friday night games.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're kind of an untapped resource that people forget that you don't forget that they're there. You go past the buildings every day, but they have a museum in there full of history.
A nice museum.
Yes.
And things that you might not see. Like if you've never seen a Medal of Honor in person, they got them in there.
Absolutely. And it's really cool that, one of the things I tell people that come in to the chamber and say, hey, after I'm done with the UFO museum, what else can I do? And
celebrity memorabilia, they got it all in there.
I tell them, go to the historical museum, go to the NMMI museum, and then go to Walker Aviation. And between all four of those museums, now you understand the history of this area, and the UFO museum really makes sense.
Yeah, UFO ties all of them together in its own way, shape, and form there. And you're absolutely right. It's pretty cool here. So get involved.
Yeah, so we've got that. And I want to welcome our new members.
Sarah's Mediterranean Restaurant.
All right.
They are on board. And
try the baba ganoush. I know it's a funny thing to say.
Oh, it's delicious.
Oh, it is. Have you tried it, Gary?
I've tried the what is it? The chicken
kebabs.
Oh yeah, the kebabs are good. So if you like hummus, like if you like the hummus spreads and all that,
yes,
baba ganoush is a Greek version of that. Instead of using chickpea, they use eggplant.
Yes.
So it's a sweeter it's a different, more tangier version of hummus, and the homemade pita bread that they give you with it.
Oh yes,
is you tear up by itself. But when you slap some baba ganoush on that bad boy, it's pretty tasty. So
we also have No Cap Solutions, their exterior pressure wash company that can take care of your sidewalks, your outside of your house, your patio, your driveway. And we have Lux Assisted Living that is open now. And
behind the farmers on North Main there.
Correct.
Used to be Adamir, and there's been a couple places over the years and pre-COVID and all that. And it's actually been, I think, empty for a year or so, and they've come in and
they've done a huge remodel over there.
Renovation, and are ready to open up here and start taking residents.
Yeah,
right?
And we did the ribbon cutting for Eyesight Roswell.
Yes.
Last
You've probably
Friday
passed
or
that 100
Friday
times.
before
It's
that.
right downtown here. So
Yep.
if you've gone by the convention center and all that, you've probably passed it 10 times. It's right there.
Yep. It used to be Lettingham.
Yeah, it was the Lettingham Vision years ago. And then I don't know what it's been since then. Was it always Lettingham? And
I think it was always Lettingham, and then of course they moved on.
Yeah.
And it sat vacant for a while, and then Eyesight came in and did a little bit of remodeling, but it's fantastic.
It's it was already an eye place, so they kind of had all the equipment. And
Correct.
They probably had to modernize and update a little bit, but other than that,
Exactly.
They did a nice remodel in there. It looks really nice.
And Eyesight is actually a multi, because there's more than one location. We got one in Roswell. I think I've seen one in Artesia. And are they owned all by the same people?
It's Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
Very good. So it is the trifecta of the southeast New Mexico here. So which is convenient. And I hear tell they take Davis insurance, which is a big deal in Roswell if you're a teacher.
Yes.
Everybody in the RASD gets Davis eye insurance, and there is a limited number of eye places that accept Davis insurance. So, and I know the struggle. For years I've been going. Like I used to love I went to Lettingham. That was but then they stopped taking Davis. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm not going there anymore.
Exactly. Then
and
you
so I
gotta
had to play the merry-go-round of various places, because then they take it and then they'd stop taking it. And so but I heard the Eyesight is full on Davis. They accept it. So all you teachers, all you RSD employees, they got you.
That's right. Come on down. And then, of course, the big thing that's happening for us today is, what's today? It's the first Wednesday of the month.
That's
so
right.
we've got Chat with Chaves County. And because Sarah's has come on board as our newest member
So
at the chamber.
Literally newest.
So we're going
Yes.
Greek.
We are going Greek today.
Hoppa!
That's
All
right. So come on down. Not only for the fantastic food that we will be serving
It's pretty
from
good. I like it.
Sarah's, but of course, Bill Williams and his team from the county will be down to answer all kinds of questions and to give an update. And one of the things that I just absolutely love about Bill is he always brings some kind of history.
Yeah, he's a storyteller.
Yes.
And he tells-
and the
Yes.
history that he brings. And it's not the mainstream history that we all know about Lincoln and Chaves County. He goes and really digs.
Kind of that hidden history nuggets of obscure, stories and things.
Yeah.
And I love that. Yeah, because he does the same thing on this show when we bring him on every month. And back when they were replacing the windows of the courthouse and stuff here a couple of years ago, he was talking all kinds of cool stuff that they were doing and finding and seeing in there.
Fantastic. So come on down today, 11:30 is when we open the doors, let everybody be able to get their food, and we typically start the program about 11:45, so that way even Bill will be able to have a chance to eat. Although yesterday I did catch all of our speakers for the education panel. I was a very good waitress yesterday,
Oh,
and I
nice.
was like, and we're going to get started. And everybody's like, mid-bite, and I'm like, sorry.
Hey, we can have a conversation with a mouthful. It's
That's
all
right. We're Roswell. We'll figure it out.
But definitely come on out. And at this point, should they RSVP or just come? I
Just come on down.
Just come on down at this point.
Yes.
If it was a few days ago, it'd been nice to say, hey,
Correct.
tack
We'll
on
have
two.
food and
But Sarah's got you covered.
That's
and
right.
come. And so come for the food and stay for the great information
Absolutely.
and great just
education from the county.
Yeah, and really, and a lot of times he'll bring one of his department heads with him too to kind of discuss how the sausage is made in that particular department and hanging out. I know he'll probably talk a lot of budget stuff this time, because that's kind of where they're really in the middle, is the departments are, because obviously with the end of the fiscal year coming up in a month or two here at the end of June, now the department heads and everything, that's the big county thing right now, is they're getting their budgets together for this year, finding out what nonprofits need their hand, they have their hand out for money, which departments are trying to up their budgets, which ones are saying, you know what, we don't need as much this year, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
that's what they're in the middle of. So
And
that's
he has brought the different department heads. For example, last month he brought Cindy Fuller, our county clerk, and
who is also a wealth of information.
oh my gosh. Well, because of redistricting, and we're in the middle of an election cycle, we're getting ready to have our primaries, and then of course in November we'll have our general election. nobody knows who to vote for anymore because everything has changed.
What district am I in? I don't know.
So Cindy came in and really was able to explain everything. And in fact, she has sent me some links that I'm getting ready to not only put on our website, but we'll have on social media and stuff where you can go and click and find out where you're at, because even across the street makes a difference right now.
Absolutely. And even though you missed last month's meeting, if you have those kind of questions, call the clerk's office. They are happy to help you navigate.
Oh, they love to help people
if you're
out.
If you're like, hey, I'm just trying to find out, they'll work with you. They'll make sure you know fully. And then and I imagine part of those links you're talking about too, because Cindy pointed out to me a couple years ago. There's a website that the state runs that you can see your entire voting history in New Mexico. You know, if you voted your whole life in New Mexico, and like me, I've got some Maryland history, but predates that y'all don't know about. But since I've been in New Mexico over 20 years, it's my districts, who I voted for, you know, all of that is right there. And it's a pretty cool tool. And
it is. Yeah. And you can make sure that you are registered to vote. Mm-hmm. Are you registered correctly? If you've moved, you can go online and change, or you can, they're always happy to have you in person down, because I know quite a few people that still feel more comfortable filling out the paperwork and doing it in person, which there's nothing wrong with that. But for the younger people, and I have younger people in my family, so I have a 20-year-old that everything is online, and so he does it that way.
Yeah, I'm a foot in both worlds.
Correct.
I do love tradition. Really love convenience too. So.
Yes. Our the Gen Xers, which you and I are, we are. And I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, that we're the ones that invented your world. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have this.
Yeah, either I'm sorry or you're welcome, depending on the perspective there.
But back to the county, the only bad question is the one not asked.
Exactly. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what the staff, everyone, and Bill and his entire team at the county there, first and foremost, they love to help the public and help navigate. They see themselves as servants, and that's how they handle their business. And so they go to the nth degree to try to find you they may not be able to find you the answer you wanted all the time, but they're going to find you the answers for what you're looking for. So.
Always ask the question. You may not get the answer you were hoping for, but
exactly.
Always ask the question.
But at least try. And so please come out and have some falafel or whatever's on the menu here from Sarah's
absolutely
at lunch today, and come out about 11:30. And like I said, we'll get you out of there about 1. So about the time the wind starts cranking up.
I'm usually pretty good about getting everybody out about 1:15, so that way your drive time, you can get back into the office by 1 o'clock.
Sure. So the boss don't yell at you why you're 5 minutes late for
absolutely, and employers obviously appreciate that.
Although you could slip a falafel in your pocket, maybe if you're going to be late, just
that's right.
Bribe them with
here's a little bit of Greek food, make you happy.
Bribe them with a falafel or something.
Absolutely. And we have started partnering with Roswell Magazine.
Yes,
because we are no longer publishing Roswell Now. And so if anybody has stories that they would like to submit, pictures, or would like to advertise in a local publication, call the chamber 575-623-5695, and we'll get you hooked up with Roswell Magazine. And they do a lot of the same stuff that we were doing with Roswell Now. They're just doing it a little bit better because they actually have.
This is what they do.
That's their
wheelhouse. They do this in other cities. Like they if you go to Albuquerque and get the magazine, same folks.
Duke City Magazine, absolutely.
Same folks are doing that stuff. So
whereas I was learning,
we're chamber
they
people.
They already know.
We're chamber people saying, "Hey, we should run a magazine," and he's like, "No, we're marketing magazine.
We're
people.
a marketing company that knows what we're doing." Yeah. And
now, to our credit, our magazines are pretty good.
I agree. I agree.
And you can read them online.
Yes.
Yes.
But pretty good is not cheap to make.
No, absolutely not. And when you're trying to, reinvent the wheel versus somebody that already has
and let's
all
face
the pieces.
It's magazines have a stay and hold it in your hand media always have a place somewhere for at some way, shape, or point. But let's face it, the paradigm is shifting on how people get or reached by their marketing.
Yes.
And magazines is just one slice, and it's a smaller slice now, or most people find out on their phone or find out through an app or, that's the predominant way that we access those kinds of things.
And we have copies of Roswell Magazine because a big difference also is they are a monthly publication, whereas Roswell now was quarterly. So some of this information is going to be a lot more fresh and vibrant and up to date. Whereas, when you're doing a quarterly magazine, you're 90 days one way or the other.
It's hard to learn new things in a magazine that was printed a month ago.
Correct. So if you want a copy of the most recent Roswell the magazine, we have a kiosk right outside the front door, but we also have publications inside. Anybody can come. And then, of course, Luke Sanchez and his team have kiosks all over town.
Pretty much, any
restaurants and grocery stores.
Think of wherever you go to get, and I might be aging myself
like the
again.
penny saver.
Yeah, the penny savers or let's get the real estate magazine. I loved those.
Those were cool.
Even when I didn't need to buy a house, I just loved them because they were great bathroom reading material. You're just going through. Ooh, that's a
well, you want
house.
to see. You always want to see what somebody else is doing.
Yeah, and so, but yes, where you find those, you will find
correct
the Roswell magazine here. So definitely pick a copy up, and of course, like you said, we're just swing by the chamber and grab that. What else do we want to mention?
That is that's what we've got going on. Yeah.
So come on out
today at 11:30.
Come out Friday. Bring your resumes and everything for the Roswell Independent School District. Go to their website if you want more information about what they're hiring for and all of that
Correct.
stuff.
They have the full
list of everything.
And it's a lot.
And obviously what they recommend you bring and present for them here on Friday. And then come ready to get hired on Friday here. So, and then of course, if you're interested in becoming a chamber member and you do business in and around Chaves County,
you should be a chamber member.
Yeah, give Gary a call or let us know, and Gary will come to you and let's talk about that.
That's right.
And who knows? Maybe next time you guys are on, we're talking about a business after hours at your location.
Correct.
Or we're talking about welcome our newest member. And
absolutely.
It's this. So, and of course, learn all those benefits about the networking. If you're a smaller mom and pop business, let us help you with your marketing and networking and do those things. If you're a larger tentpole corporation, let us help you with your community-minded, getting your name entrenched in our community and making that a part. And don't forget, our larger companies service our smaller companies. That's kind of how it all works. So
absolutely,
we want to give those little companies that don't have they have two people, not a HR department, or have a marketing budget.
And those
or any
are
of
all
those
the resources
things
that we can help is plug you in as a smaller mom and pop or a smaller business. Where can you design a website? We have a landing page for everybody that is a member on our website. So if you don't have the ability one way or another for your own website, we provide that. That's one of the benefits of being a member.
Let
as
us
you
give
get
you
your
a bigger
landing page
footprint to get your word about your business out there. And then like the chamber too, we're a family.
Yes.
When it comes to this, and anytime we have people come into town or people come in looking for services, guess who we recommend? Our chamber members.
That's who we go. That's right. We go to our chamber members first.
Yeah.
If we don't have a member in a particular category, that's when we go to the phone book. We go to Google. We go to word of mouth. But we go to our members first.
Absolutely. So please come for a visit or make Gary come run to you and be happy to
Gary loves
learn.
to run all over town and meet new people.
He meets new people. Like I said, he's not that many left to meet.
I've never met a stranger, just a few strange people.
You got a few rocks to turn over to find some new people to meet here.
Absolutely.
But definitely let's talk. Let's have a conversation, see how the chamber can help your business or organization. Don't forget, we have nonprofits and others that are part of chamber members too, and we offer lots of perks and benefits for our nonprofits.
We do.
Too. So please reach out.
575-623-5695. 575-623-5695. You can check out our website at roswellnm.org or come on down to the office at 131 West 2nd. We're right on the corner of Richardson and 2nd, right behind Subway and Verizon on 2nd and Main.
Yeah, pretty much directly across the street from the Roswell Police Department.
Absolutely.
So if you see the PD there, right across the street from 2nd is us.
That's us.
Look for the aliens on the window.
Correct.
They're paint. They're not actual aliens. We're not savages.
Well, I mean, I don't know what happens when I leave. They might.
Oh, and by the way, if you've got your plastic bottle caps and things to the benches, we're a drop-off location. We got a drop-off. You don't even have to go inside. It's right by our door there.
Correct.
You see a trash can there. You just drop it. I think it's a sign.
It says recycle on it. That's what those go in.
Drop your bottle caps and all those in, and then we'll make sure they get to the bench people.
And they come and pick up about once a week, once every other week, depending on how quickly our trash can.
A recycle can.
The recycle can.
Yeah, if you see it overflow,
fills.
they're due to come.
Yes. Well, and I'm noticing as the warm weather is approaching,
we're getting more and more
we
stuff.
get full faster, and it's just a matter of calling Main Street Roswell. And I tell you what, they're pretty good at, as soon as I call them, and I'm like, it's getting there.
Yeah.
By the time they get there, it is perfectly full, and it is worth their trip to come.
Absolutely. So thank you for all the keep contributing to that and keep doing so, because every time you do that, you're making cool bench. I mean, I love the bench program.
Those benches are fantastic.
It is because it's a win-win for everybody.
Yes.
It checks the green boxes that people love. It checks the practicality and financial boxes that most logical business people love. And by the way, they're pretty benches and they serve the actual function of the benches.
They are kind of graffiti resistant
they're
because
a better
if
product than
anybody
the previous
graffitis them, it's very easy to either scrub or sand down, and you're not going to compromise.
Yeah. Where a wood or metal bench, and you got to replace the wood or the metal. You got to do, where this, it's a sander, and we're back in business. Now, obviously, you can only sand so much, so many years of that, but let's just, it's just a better design product, and you're like.
And in the elements
of course it makes sense.
Southeastern New Mexico with the sun and the
doesn't fade and do all the things that some of the so please, if you love that, and thank you to all that keep doing it. But collect and if go to Main Street Roswell's website and all that, they'll tell you exactly what caps are not good.
They've got a graphic that tells you exactly what you can.
Because some of your jars, like your mayonnaise jars, like if they're plastic and stuff, are good to do all that stuff, but some aren't. So you gotta.
Basically, if there's metal inside the top that is that you can't remove, then you can't recycle it. But pretty much anything else.
Yeah, pretty much all your soda bottle caps and all that. But again, Main Street will Roswell
exactly because we don't want to put something we don't need.
Yeah, and then one more time, the phone number and the website
575-623-5695 or RoswellNM.org and come down and see us. Today for lunch.
Yep, and we are also on social media, so if you go to the Chamber on our Facebook or
Instagram, and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, that's the other one I always. Just shoot a message to that, and one of these two folks will get to you pretty quick here. So,
and those of you that have something that needs to get out in the newsletter, if you'll get it to us Thursday mornings, we put that newsletter together Thursday afternoon, so it can go out first thing Friday morning.
Yeah, so get it to them today. Then we don't have to worry about it tomorrow.
That's right.
Because I was working on it a little bit yesterday, a little bit every day, and then by Friday at 9 a.m., you guys get a great product.
Yeah, so shoot it out today. That way you'll give a date, and then Andrew will get it all percolated and put together and go out Friday morning here. So, good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
We got an event to get ready for, so I'm sure you got a few things to go do at the office right now. So
God bless you all, and have a great day.
Thank you. You do the same. We'll see you next time. A couple weeks here. All right, man, 7:56. Let's pause. We're going to do a quick commercial break, and then we're going to do our sports report, brought to you by DSI. That's up next. But first, this commercial break.
In southeast New Mexico, our state senator Greg Nibert has a strong conservative record, supporting the right to life, working to protect our conservative values, and standing up for the Second Amendment. That's why he's endorsed by the NRA. Greg Nibert has a record of opposing the liberal, progressive Santa Fe agenda. He has consistently stood against illegal immigration, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's harmful progressive agenda, and policies that try to take away our rights and freedoms. He has stood up for us time and time again, especially when our rights have been under attack. Greg is a champion for our communities, our values, and our way of life. Greg Nibert can count on. He is a strong supporter of our oil and gas jobs, which is so essential to southeast New Mexico. We need Senator Greg Nibert in Santa Fe. He is a proven, committed conservative and a strong voice for eastern New Mexico.
State Senate.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity. Providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support, DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. A good day on the road for the Goddard Rockets softball team. Yesterday, the Rockets defeat Portales by a score of 7-4. Marisol Hernandez, sophomore, with 2 RBIs, and Marissa Crawford also with 2 ribbies for the Rockets, who broke a 4-4 tie with 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Goddard's now 13-11 overall, 3-4 in district play, and they will be playing at Lovington to close out the regular season. Doubleheader Friday starting at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, Roswell sure has shown that at times they can play with the best in their district. The Coyotes, though, lost, but not getting over the top. The Coyotes yesterday lost 5-4 in the opener of a doubleheader against Carlsbad, and that went into extra innings. Alexia Carrasco 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs for the Coyotes, and then Roswell lost the nightcap 8-1. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. stocks ended lower on Tuesday as markets weighed economic data showing rising labor costs and deteriorating consumer confidence. Data showed that U.S. labor costs rose by a more than expected 1.2% last quarter, indicating an uptick in wage pressures. A survey also found that U.S. consumer confidence worsened in April. A group of Google workers have filed a complaint with the U.S. Labor Board, claiming the tech company unlawfully fired about 50 employees for protesting its cloud contract with the Israeli government. U.S. industrial giant 3M posted a better-than-expected quarterly profit on Tuesday on higher sales in its electronics unit, sending its shares up about 5%. Coca-Cola raised its annual sales forecast on Tuesday after topping first-quarter results, as customers in the U.S. and international markets shell out more money for its pricey sodas and juices. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. In both Los Angeles and in New York, police have moved in on anti-Israel protesters on university campuses. The LAPD put down violent clashes at UCLA, while in New York, police have liberated a university building.
At Columbia University in New York City late last night, police carrying zip ties and riot shields climbed into Hamilton Hall to reclaim the administration building from a group of protesters who've been calling on the school to divest from Israel and the war effort. Carlos Nieves is an assistant commissioner with the NYPD.
Hamilton Hall is now secure. There's no one else left in the building. The quad is now empty.
Dozens of protesters were loaded onto police buses. The university has asked for police to remain there through May 17th. I'm Jennifer King.
Secretary of State Blinken's current Mideast diplomatic mission has taken him to Israel. He has met with Prime Minister Netanyahu, hoping to convince him not to send the military into Rafah in southern Gaza. Former President Trump hitting the campaign trail today.
Donald Trump using a day off from court to rally voters in Wisconsin and Michigan, which are among a handful of battleground states expected to decide the election. The Republican frontrunner's remarks will be closely watched after he received a $9,000 fine for making public statements about people connected to his hush money trial in New York. Trump insisting it's free speech and speaking yesterday after court.
This is a corrupt system we're in. And I think the people are understanding it.
Trump is back in court tomorrow for the trial where the judge will weigh other alleged gag order violations. Julie Walker, New York.
And on this Fed interest rate decision day, stocks are mixed right now on Wall Street, with the Dow 16 points higher, while the Nasdaq is down 21, and the S&P is off 12 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through...
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A-Day demonstrators trying to reach the main square in Istanbul.
May 1st is a traditional day for protests, and Istanbul's famous Taksim Square has long been a focus for demonstrations of all kinds. So Turkish police weren't taking any chances. They'd blocked the square the day before, but demonstrators moved in to remove the barricades, leading to clashes with police there and in other areas of the city. Reports suggest at least 150 people have been arrested, but the leader of the country's main opposition party, the CHP, said they would keep on fighting until Taksim is free.
The BBC's Paul Moss. Iranian prosecutors filing criminal charges against activists and journalists following a BBC report that alleged security forces sexually assaulted and killed a 16-year-old girl. Townhall.com. As it wraps up its two-day session today, the big question is, will the Federal Reserve cut interest rates?
Fed officials have become more cautious about the prospect of cutting interest rates this year after 3 straight inflation reports that were hotter than expected. In March, policymakers had projected 3 rate cuts this year. Now most economists expect 2, but some acknowledge there could be 1 or none. That's because inflation has been more persistent than expected. The Fed says inflation reached a 4.4% annual rate in the first quarter of this year, far above the Fed's 2% target. And the economy is healthier and hiring is stronger than most economists thought it would be at this point. Donna Porter, Washington.
On this first day of the month in Florida, the state's new ban on most abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy has now gone into effect. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Ooh. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Way to get mysterious.
That was feeling a little ominous there. The world.
So, you know, you mentioned something. I love this office. The acoustics are great because I can hear most of the conversations that happen in here.
And I'm a loudmouth.
Well, yeah, there's that. So I kind of was just, listening in, tuning into the conversation that you and young Rob Roy were having.
Yes.
I'm still trying to keep Rob Roy alive.
By the way, a good cat name for our conversation earlier.
Oh, yeah. Right. I looked it up. I do have the drink recipe.
For Rob Roy?
No, for Warm and Windy.
Oh, Warm and Windy.
I'll tell you what that is coming up. There's a tease. I'll tell you what it is coming up. But no, you were talking about something, and I hear you use this phrase a lot.
Okay.
I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
You say that a lot.
I do.
But here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked on this show a lot about the different mic miniatures that I have.
Yes.
How there's Balding Mike, then there was Wolfman Jack Mike, there was No Voice Mike.
Yes.
Then there's Bald Mike.
Yes.
Where's Midlife Crisis Mike?
Oh, he's sprinkled through all of them.
Is he? But is he? Because I counter argue that a true midlife crisis is you looking at your situation, at what is happening, and putting something in place, whatever that happens to be, to shake it up. Whether it be like a new hobby, a new like a vehicle, you tend to settle into comfortable niches.
I do.
And I understand, and that's
my
great.
MO, big time.
I love hammocks.
Yeah,
They're fantastic.
I love routine. I love predictability. I love calm.
Right.
And Those I love.
But you ever just want to shake it up a little bit?
Yes, but less as I get older.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's the world we live in, and I feel like the things I used to trust, I don't trust anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little of that going on. And so sometimes the comfort part is like, look, what's predictable and what's trusted is what I like.
Now, and I understand, but I, again, counter argue how much better is it now with the Subway app? I'm just saying.
You know what?
It took a lot of convincing to get Mike to download the Subway app. And now that he has, I hear him say way more often than not, I'm going to go pick up my sandwich.
Well, I do have a beef.
Okay. Well, they do too.
You know what? I don't want to share it on the radio.
Okay,
I'll tell you off air.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you off air.
Oh.
Because I found...
Well, it wasn't, but this is where it kind of veered into.
I found a negative to the app experience.
Okay. And there are negatives to some of these app experiences, I understand.
And the more I've studied it over the last couple of weeks, because that's what I do, I'm leaning to more where it's a bigger thing than I think it is.
Really? Okay, so we'll discuss that off the air.
I will discuss off air.
Tune into Mike's X blog to find out his true feelings.
Yes.
He hide it behind a paywall. It's $4.99 a month.
Yeah, I'm that guy that you have to beat me 37 times. It's the same, and I've been that my whole life. Sure. I remember when my wife started reading a Harry Potter book.
Okay.
And she got into it, and she's like, "You really need to read it." And she was literally finally, for the love of God, if I read this book, will you shut up about it? And I did, and I liked it, and I read it.
They're great. They're very fun.
And so, but I'm that kicking and screaming guy generally to some of them.
Well, for me, it's not about like comfort zone or anything. It's more about like living your best life to me personally.
Well, and I'm
mine. Okay, go ahead.
Well, and you're right, Roy. But you also have to remember, from my perspective, I'm different than you guys. I'm a little older, but
and then maybe it's just me.
I've done a lot of stuff.
Well,
I've been in places, and I'm kind of in the point in my life where I'm like, I don't want to do all that anymore. Like I've seen the world. I've been I really.
Right.
I look back at things, and I've done a lot of things, and
Sure.
I'm proud of that. But at the same time, I kind of want. Now I'm in a place in my life where I like all right, it's 4:30, time for pudding. You know,
here's the thing. Here's the thing that drives me nuts. There are some people I have friends and family who will not go to. This is a kind of off topic, but not go to the self-checkout lane.
Yeah.
They will only go to a person to have their groceries checked out, but then will complain about how long the line is for. They have a convenient option right there.
Yeah.
But these people are so dead set in their ways.
I'm not that bad. No, I will go to the. I avoid the live people if I can.
I love the advent of the self checkout has been a godsend for me because I want to make as little eye contact as possible.
Yeah, anything in my life where I have to deal with people less, I'm for.
Yeah,
and I embrace. So yes, I go to those lines and everything.
But I just it drives me up a wall. I'm not going to that self checkout thing, and then they're just standing there like, well, this is forever.
Well, to be fair, they also have a lot of empty checkout lanes where there should be cashiers.
Oh, I agree.
Where there used to be a lot. They used to all be full.
And you know what's
only
funny?
like 2.
You know what's funny? That is so. Though that amount of cashiers lanes is sort of the ashtray in the armrest of the plane seat of today.
It is.
It's like, I remember back when all these registers were needed. It was Christmas 1999.
Right. And that's literally the only time you ever see is Black Friday.
Right.
And those 2 cashier self-checkout machines put all those people out of work.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. I don't think they're hiring them to begin with. Hence the reason there's one checkout lane open.
I will say this. I've never seen a more frustrated employee than the one that has to work the self-checkout lanes, because they're not just checking out one person at a time. They're working with 27 people simultaneously.
Well, the only time they're needed is when someone screws it up.
Or needs alcohol.
Yeah.
Or
it's counterintuitive.
Or I found this out. If you are about to scan a product, okay, then you set it down to open the bag so that you can just scan. It'll stop you. And then when the associate comes over, it shows video footage of what you just did. I'm like, I know you're watching me. I wasn't trying to I was opening the bag so I could easily scan and place.
Which we all know, we've had that time. We sat there for 5 minutes trying to open that stupid bag.
COVID was the worst. Does everybody remember how self-conscious you were in a grocery store when you couldn't lick your thumb to open the bags?
Yeah, those bags
the worst.
are the bane of my existence.
That was the worst.
And matter of fact,
you also couldn't take off an item either without needing someone's assistance.
Yeah.
And half the time, usually my wife and I are together, I just go, Kim, bags. I can't. She has the knack, the patience or whatever it is to get it, because I'll sit there and
but you guys
it's not working right away.
You guys have the 2-man system. One of you could be bagging while the other is scanning.
And that's generally how it is.
And that's teamwork making the dream work.
Sometimes that works.
I got 2 kids that are getting in everybody's way.
Sometimes we're both out control freaks. So both of us want to do the scanning, or both try, or they both.
I was gonna say,
I'll start, and then she'll start crowbarring in. I'm like, get over there and let me do this. I'm capable, because I think sometimes she thinks I'll just screw everything. Which
I was gonna say,
she ain't wrong.
I bag my own scans.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm totally. My wife does treat me at times like I'm incapable of doing basic tasks.
Everything stops all of a sudden. You go, Kim, I am a man.
Right.
Let me scan my items. I'm a man.
Once in a while, I got to play that. I'm a man.
I go pee-pee standing up.
I can butter my own toast. Oh man! But let me give you the rundown.
I don't know why I looked down. That was rude.
But yeah, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. And then shortly thereafter, we're going to have our interview with Tom from Game Day Roswell, which is open now, but they're having their big grand opening celebration this Saturday, May the 4th, from 1 to 4 p.m., I believe, off the top of my head here. And they're going to have free gaming. They're going to have free hot dogs. They're going to have all kinds of fun and festivities and come and if you and learn, listen to the interview, and you can learn about what it is. But think of the arcade of yesteryear, but with cool adult things like food and adult beverages,
right.
and he's built a little club, and you can all be members and come and come and I believe down the road they're going to offer it for birthday parties or gaming events.
From what I understand, they already do. I've seen a couple of pictures from their Facebook page. There's been a few kids parties.
Yeah. And it's fun for the whole family.
Absolutely.
So you can bring the whole family down. If mom and dad want to have a beer while they play darts or something, and kids could teach them your Donkey Kong skills or Galaga skills or something like that.
When I was a kid, there was this place in Medill called Carry Out Corner. And it was exactly this, except for without the service, the extra service. It was a pool hall. They had food. They had some some of the old school video games, pinball machines, and this was the place all my friends would hang out. It was just you get a pocket full of quarters and just go down to the carry out corner. And it's reliving my childhood.
Yeah, it is. To me, it's nostalgia meets modern meets a lot of fun. So and the cool part is it's not like the games. They're not like 2024 versions of the arcade. He's scoured.
Yeah.
And scoured the eBays and the different places.
We're talking the old Neo Geo, like Bubble Bobble.
And so Tom works on all these bad boys, which is the best of both worlds, because it's simpler technology, obviously, than modern computers, but the parts and the boards and all the stuff is antiquated and hard to get.
Do you remember the guy in Wreck-It Ralph that ran the arcade?
Yeah.
The Like My Nana guy? That's him. That's Tom.
There you go.
Yep.
And so he started with the laundry machines there because Uncle Sud's, which is right next door. And so so you can go and actually do your laundry and then walk on over and hang out and have a beverage and play a game or two.
I want to watch The Founder. You know, when they do his movie and like whoever they get to play him is sitting at his dinner table one night. And he's like, my customers already have a pocket full of quarters. And then you just see over his head like quarters equal washing machines equal video games. He's like, I'm going to open up an arcade. And then the whole thing takes off from there.
But it's got to start where he's like in the basement, like working on some machine that's got parts everywhere. And he's like trying to figure out whether it's a washing machine or perhaps a video game console.
I like the idea of him being up under a washing machine on one of those rolling boards, working on it like somebody would, like a Chevy.
Yeah, I think we need that. We need that side of it first to bring into the business side.
Billy Bob Thornton as Tom.
I like
Cumberly.
it.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
I think it's a good look.
It's a good look. I'm trying to think of Billy Bob, but Tom's nicer than Billy Bob.
He is. He is. But Billy Bob's also a method. I feel like he could imbue the spirit of
Because
Tom.
I've just started thinking everything I've seen Billy Bob play, he's kind of a smart alecky type person. And Tom's not really, I mean, he has that ability, but generally he's a nice guy. Where like, I feel like if I walked up to Billy Bob Thornton in person and said, hey, I feel like he might not be nice to me.
And then Tom's wife, who comes in, into the garage, and says, "You're crazy for this idea. It's never going to work." It's Vivica A. Fox. There you go. You're welcome, Tom.
And by the way, if we do get Billy Bob Thornton, yes, more Goliath Billy Bob, not Tombstone Billy Bob.
Sure, exactly. More, less bandits Billy Bob.
That's right. Yeah. Well, he was kind of a sniveling little weasel in
there you go. More Sling
Blade Bob.
Yes,
that's the ultimate. But yeah, he was kind of a weasel in Tombstone, the Billy Bob Thornton character.
He was kind of a weasel, yeah.
So anyway, all right, 8:19. Get you up to date with the weather. Weasel free since 2022.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind and very warm temperatures today. We're headed for the mid-90s on the afternoon high. Should get sunshine, wind gusting up to about 30 miles an hour. Overnight looks clear and breezy. Our lows in the upper 50s, and then we're expecting upper 80s for the afternoon high on Thursday. Still a little bit breezy, but not as windy, and we should get sunshine, sunny, and mid-80s on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 21%, with winds currently out of the east at 3 miles per hour. Red flag warning will kick in at 1 p.m. this afternoon, remaining in effect through 10 p.m. this evening because of the low humidity, the warm temps, and the winds we're about to get today. Sunny and 96 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour this morning, but this afternoon those winds will shift to the southwest and increase 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, overnight low of 57 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They will drop down 10 to 15 miles per hour after midnight tonight. For you Thursday, sunny, highs near 90 tomorrow, west winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 54. Friday, sunny and 89, north winds 5 to 15. Saturday, there's a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny and 86. And for Sunday, mostly sunny, 87 for a high there. All right, 8:21. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Then we're going to play our interview with Tom, talking about the grand opening of Game Day Roswell this Saturday out there. And we'll talk all about the Game Day Roswell and hopefully tickle your desires to want to come and check it out this weekend. So that's up next. Don't go away.
Are you or a loved one having a hard time getting to your medical appointments? At Artesia General Hospital, we believe that transportation should never be a barrier to good health. That's why we're excited to announce our new non-emergency medical transportation services. Each of our vans is wheelchair accessible, and our friendly certified drivers go the extra mile by meeting you at your doorstep and ensuring a comfortable ride to your Artesia General Hospital services. Rides are available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Schedule your ride today by visiting artesiageneral.com/transportation or calling 575-736-8211.
Join Fiero 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 to 1 at Roswell Ford. It's a Cinco de Mayo celebration, and Roswell Ford is under new management with a whole new attitude, and they're ready to serve you. You'll find a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles and huge discounts across the lot, plus a great team of experts ready to get the deal done today. We'll have street tacos and ice-cold drinks and a celebration of all things Cinco de Mayo. See you Saturday at Roswell Ford, 9th and Main in Roswell with Fiero 106.1 FM.
In southeast New Mexico, our state senator Greg Nibert has a strong conservative record, supporting the right to life, working to protect our conservative values, and standing up for the Second Amendment. That's why he's endorsed by the NRA. Greg Nibert has a record of opposing the liberal progressive Santa Fe agenda. He has consistently stood against illegal immigration, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's harmful progressive agenda, and policies that try to take away our rights and freedoms. He has stood up for us time and time again, especially when our rights have been under attack. Greg is a champion for our communities, our values, and our way of life. Greg Nibert has a record that we can count on. He is a strong supporter of our oil and gas jobs, which is so essential to southeast New Mexico. We need Senator Greg Nibert in Santa Fe. He is a proven, committed conservative and a strong voice for eastern New Mexico.
Paid for by Greg Nibert for State Senate.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell, and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our Cookie Two-Step Ice Cream is a creamy vanilla ice cream with hints of brown sugar, chunks of chocolate cream-filled cookies, and tasty chocolate chip cookie dough pieces. Cookie Two-Step has everybody's taste buds two-stepping, and 1 and 2.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walmart Supercenters.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:28, and joining us in studio this morning, Tom's back with us. Usually we talk in Uncle Sud's Laundry with Tom and everything, but we got a new venture to talk about with Tom this morning. So first off, how you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Of course, if you need your laundry and all that done, Uncle Sud's has got you covered in there. But maybe while you're getting laundry done and you're looking for a few minutes to kill, maybe we got something else for you to do while you're doing that too here.
Right.
So Tom has started a new business, new venture here, and it's actually right there next to Uncle Sud's Laundry there, and it is called Game Day Roswell, and it's fun. Just think of a fun, gaming bar, just good time experience while folks can come and play video games or darts or have a beverage and just hang out and have some fun and kick back and you get rid of the. We got the world we live in with all the stuff. It's like, hey, let's go back in time and maybe play a little Donkey Kong or a little darts and have a beer or two, and hang out with some friends. And that's kind of what you've created now, right?
Well, yeah, it's our club that created it. I'm just the president.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody that walks in, the first thing they say is, man, this really has a good vibe. And so, it's just a fun place. We've got 5,500 square feet.
It's huge, and Sean and I got a chance to check it out a couple weeks ago, and I think y'all gonna be impressed. I mean, you've got it. First off, if you grew up, you grew up in the time of the arcade, where you go to the mall and pop in the arcade. You're gonna walk in, you'll be like, oh, this brings back some memories, because you're gonna walk in, you're gonna see Galaga and Donkey Kong and some of the classic games that you love. But, it's kind of that, but for adults now. You know what I mean? Kids can come have fun too and all. We have nights for that kind of thing. But really, it's a chance for folks to, kind of relive the days of, your younger days and getting a chance to kind of kick back. And who knows, maybe, because
like to me, this feels like that father-sonny moment where your son's like 20, 21, and you kind of, like, oh, this is what we used to do when we were younger and your age. And I feel like there's a lot of bonding type stuff here on top of having fun and all that other.
Yeah, there is. As you said, we are family friendly.
Yeah.
So not only do we do the arcade and the games, we're in the process right now of getting our kitchen put together. So we will have food very soon.
Well, what goes better with a beer and a night of pool or darts or something is like some fries, nachos, burgers, things like that.
Absolutely, yeah. And no, everybody that's been in there has really had a good time, and we do a lot of private parties, birthday parties.
I could totally see. Yeah, this is kind of back like when we were kids. The big I'm gonna say the biggest, coolest thing you could do as a kid is have like a birthday party at McDonald's or like an arcade or something like that. And we kind of we don't do that anymore. And I gotta lie, I think there's some adults. Forget the kids. I think there's some adults that want to have the McDonald's like birthday parties again, and I think you can recreate that for folks here.
Yeah, it's just nothing but fun when you go in there. So yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It is really cool, and it's kind of like you said. It's a new, like we're saying, we're having the grand opening this weekend on this Saturday, May the 4th, from 1 to 4. We want to invite everyone to come on down for free gaming, free food, hot dogs. We're gonna have kind of we're welcoming everyone to come check out the new Game Day Roswell here. But once this weekend goes, this thing's going to kind of evolve into what we want to make of it, right? I mean, it's kind of like, we got an idea of what we're going to do there, but what it turns into, down the road, who knows? It could be we could have dart leagues in here all the night, or it could turn into, like you said, more of a party rental place where people like say we're going to book it for a Friday night party every the kind of where it's going to evolve to is kind of up to everyone.
A little bit of everything. Like we've already got the billiard league, and they're the more serious pool players. But then again, it's there for just the good time.
The casual, we're just here to whack a few balls around and have a good time.
Yeah, those that want to laugh together, laugh at themselves, laugh at each other. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. But when they have tournaments and stuff, and it's the serious pool, and the pool is not a game.
No, it's a sport.
That's right. Those nights we'll have that too. But it really, I think it just sounds like something fun for families, really, but adults too, to just come and let your hair down a little bit, kick back with your friends, come have a night of just hanging out with your friends, creating memories, playing video games, playing darts, playing billiards, or just hanging out and having a beer or two, and maybe some food, or just kind of. Just kicking back, socializing. It's really just a hangout, and with a lot of cool stuff to do. And I got a feeling this place is gonna just kind of be everyone's staple watering hole here for as people learn of it and come and visit. And
well,
check it out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Everybody's been saying for ever since I was a little kid, there's nothing to do in Roswell. Well, yeah, there is. You got to look.
You got to create it a little bit too.
Yeah.
And but Game Day Roswell, it's going to be a lot of fun. Like if you want to come, and what I like about it, it's multi-generational. Depending on if you want old school Galaga, some of the original arcade games, you'll find them. But then if you want the next generation, your Mortal Kombats, the ones that were a little bit more fancy, with the ones that started charging more than $1 for, if you remember at the arcade games,
right.
you're like, dang, that's a 75-cent game and all that.
Well, most of ours are still $0.25.
And that's the thing. Now you can go back and still play $0.25 for a lot of these here too. So that's the cool part. So and what the cool thing is, he's got everything from the style to even some of the tabletop, like you saw in Pizza Huts and things. You got a little bit of both in there too. So wherever your kind of nostalgia generates from, it's going to be kind of met in this place.
Yeah, it's a handful. We got 5 pool tables, 30 arcade games. We've got 5 TVs.
So so you don't miss your sports or whatever.
Oh, exactly.
We're in baseball season here, so if you got a big game this weekend or big series this weekend,
come on down, play some billiards, and the game will be on in the background while you're playing, and have something to eat or whatever.
You bet.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really just a hangout. That's what it is. It's just a place for people to come and hang out and have a good time, and just have fun.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So put it in your things to do. Game Day Roswell. The big grand opening of for Game Day Roswell will be this Saturday, May the 4th. May the 4th. So come in Star Wars if you want. It's May the 4th. You know,
Well,
why not?
yeah. Well, we're also tying in with Cinco de Mayo. Since, we thought, well, why not try it this week? You know,
Sure,
this
why not?
weekend, and give people something to do. Come out.
Well, we don't have there is no formal Cinco de Mayo celebration this
Right.
year, and I know they're having Moms Love and Hope out at the carnival event. So go hit that. But when you're done doing that and looking for some air conditioning and some cooling off, come on over to Game Day Roswell here and check it out and do some. You don't need unlimited ride armbands there. All you need is the ability to come in and have a good time.
Just come in and you're all invited, and we'll just have a big celebration and have fun.
Yeah. Now this Saturday from 1 to 4, like I said, we're gonna have the games and all that stuff going on, but they're gonna have free taquitos, free games, free hot dogs. Plus, they're going to be offering special prices with beer, Modelo, Dos Equis on tap for Cinco de Mayo here as well too. So when it come, have you nice Dos Equis or Modelo on tap. Play some billiards or some darts, or you know what? I'm locking down the Donkey Kong for the next hour or two. All right, go get the end screen on Donkey Kong where the game shuts down. There's a whole documentary on that if you want to watch it and try to recreate that on Netflix or one of those to get to the there's a whole society of these people that play the Donkey Kong all the way to the end just to basically break the machine and get the end. Because when you beat it, it just shuts down. That's what it does.
Yeah. I've never made it that far. But,
well, there's a documentary, I think Netflix or one of those. It's got this whole thing about that. It's pretty interesting. But if you want to try to do that, come out this Saturday and do that.
I was the Miss Pac-Man.
That was your jam?
That was my jam. And I tell you, we've got people that come in and they see Galaga and they go crazy.
I loved Galaga. That was one of my one seeds. I loved the ball games, the one where you had to spin like Centipede. Those ones where you had to use the ball to kind of. I think Space Invaders was another one that you kind of had to do that with. That was the arcade game before it was an Atari game, folks. But anyway,
you're dating yourself.
That's right. And of course, I grew up with my dad. I remember my dad was. Right around, this was going to say late 70s. So, 77-ish. Right around there. Dad brought home Pong.
Okay.
And I will never forget. And this was, by 77, this was a more advanced Pong. This one came with the gun, which had two games where it was a black screen with a white square that kind of bounced around and you could shoot it with the gun. Kind of like Duck Hunt for, it was like the first thing of Duck Hunt, if you remember Nintendo, which... Kids are probably, what's Duck Hunt? But anyway, that's the next generation knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But and it had the Pong, and it had like a bevy of 20 games. Now, granted, all the games were the same. It was tennis, hockey, soccer, and it was the sticks just in different locations. But it was, the same thing. And so, but it had those little spin things, and so I always had when the games that you had the roller ball, like your Space Invaders and Centipede and some of those. Galaga was another one. Those were the ones I liked.
Yeah.
And so, but Pac-Man I did good in to a point. Like I could clear the first couple boards, but after that I just wasn't that good at it. So I never got my quarters worth out of Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man.
That was my jam back in the day. I mean, at 5:00 we left work and we used to go over to it was called the library, and it was the old library.
Gotcha.
And we went upstairs, and I went straight to Miss Pac-Man.
That was your jam.
That was
mine was. I think I did that more with Donkey Kong. Like I loved playing and part of that was the Pizza Hut near us growing up had the Donkey Kong tabletop machine in there, and so while Dad was waiting for the pizza, I'd always, finagle a few quarters out of him to play that game.
There you go. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It was. So and then when when it evolved, because after the Pong died, my parents didn't want to get me an Atari. So, but my friends all. But one year they ponied up for an Intellivision, which was kind of the less popular version of the Atari at the time.
Right.
And but it had Donkey Kong.
and that was the first game that came with it. And so I got better at Donkey Kong later when I didn't have to pay quarters for it, when I could just reset.
There you go.
And I got pretty good there. To this day and age, I probably suck at it. But back then, I didn't beat it, but I got pretty far. I got to the point where those barrels were flaming and jumping and skipping and doing all kind of stuff. So.
Well, we got free games this weekend, so come on over.
Come on out. 1 to 4 this Saturday at we're right next to Uncle Sud's there at Game Day Roswell there on Sunset. What's the actual address for the new facility here?
It's 911 South Sunset.
There you go. If you go down Sunset, and if you know where Uncle Sud's is, it's right next door there. But if you come off a second, you basically just go down Sunset. You'll see it there on your left as you're heading south.
Yeah.
And turn on in, and of course, bring your laundry. Go ahead and get your laundry knocked out while you walk over next door and have a beer and maybe play a game or two.
Yeah, might as well. Absolutely.
You know, we have not. You know, technology has made those laundry machines do some great stuff, but they have not gotten to the point where as soon as you throw it in, it's done. You got to wait the time for the machine to do what it's got to do. So,
but there's a lot of computerized washing machines now. It's crazy. You can be over in a place like Las Cruces, a college town, and you can start your laundry. You can go over and have a beer or something, and you got that little disc.
Oh, kind of like the restaurant. Yeah, your table's ready.
Yeah, it says, okay, it's final spin. You know, go put it in the dryer.
Technology's great, man. I love that kind of stuff.
I'm not that fancy, but we do now have refrigerated air. That's a big thing.
You know what? That will make you friends real quick.
I tell you what, it gets intense in there.
So I got to ask, I mean, because you start with the laundry. I mean, so do you spend half your day just tinkering machines? You know, whether it's not a laundry machine or now Donkey Kong or Miss Pac-Man or something like that.
Yeah, you got to be good with your hands,
sure,
to be in that business. You got to fix it yourself.
Sure. Well, that's just it. Especially those the arcade games and stuff.
Yeah.
There's probably not anyone making parts or not many people making parts for those anymore. So you got to do either refurb or design your own parts or manufacture your own parts. I mean, it's an age where the materials to replace it aren't readily available anymore.
It's on-the-job training right now.
Which to me makes this that much more special, because how many more generations of this before we just don't have the ability to have these machines anymore? Because they're literally that hard to get parts for and to manufacture. So, you know, this get in while we can, while because quite frankly, we might be a generation or two away from these things going the way of the dodo, and all we know is talk about it is pictures on the internet of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had to go all the way to Indiana to get these machines.
I would imagine it's quite a hunt for you.
Yeah.
But I imagine that's also fun for you to keep these going and playing with. I mean, I imagine if you ain't tinkering, you're kind of probably fidgety.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's just fun to see these kids light up at these big games.
Sure.
You know, they're not on their phone. You actually have to do eye-hand coordination on this stuff. And, they just really have a good time.
I think, and I think they can appreciate the simplicity in some of those games. You know, where games today, it's like living life. You know what I mean? It's so real, and you got to interact with characters and all. And these arcade games, no, it's a blip in a screen. There's a monkey throwing barrels at you. Or there's some ghost chasing around while you're eating dots, or there's a alien thing spinning around while you got to shoot. I mean, that's simple. You know, we get it. We go. It's a point to it, and you get a satisfaction from achieving it.
Absolutely, it's so cool.
Yeah, and so I think kids, once they see it and embrace it, like, oh man, okay, how I get I would even hit them with some of our non-electronic technology that we had as a kid. Like, you remember, like those water games that used to fill with water, and you had to make the hoops jump through and all. Those are pretty popular. I say we need to bring those back. I think kids would get because they're way cheaper than an iPad or anything like that today, and provide the same amount of entertainment.
We grew up in the coolest time. You know, no cell phones.
Yeah.
You know, you think back. Well, how did we make plans to get together and do this, do that? You know, it was a simple time.
That we knew everybody's phone number.
Absolutely, you had to.
I had like my list of 10 or 12 friends that were kind of in our little core.
and I knew everyone and their phone numbers by heart, their addresses, like the whole.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember my own phone number, but
yeah, everything's just fast dial.
Yeah, we didn't have speed dial or memories or anything
just
like that.
Pick their name and go.
We just had the phone in the kitchen with the 27-foot cord that you could stretch into the bathroom or even upstairs if you needed to.
Yeah,
depending
absolutely.
It's like, where's the boy? Follow the cord.
I actually bought one of those at a garage sale just for my own memories. It's avocado green.
Oh yeah, they either avocado green or that yellow mustard, or there was that orangey color or that brown. There was a brown, and those were the official colors of the 70s. That avocado. Think of you know what? Go watch the Brady Bunch. Look at the kitchen in the Brady Bunch. And that is, those oranges and avocados, and that's very much the style of that time. So, by the way, I was watching an episode of the Brady Bunch not too long ago, old episode, and if I had my druthers, I'd make my kitchen look just like that today. It's a classy. For the 70s or 60s, wherever that was a pretty, the brick and all. It was because Mike was an architect and he designed all that. And it's dated, but I don't know. I would you throw a more modern microwave and a coffee pot in there. I'm like, this kitchen's bad. It's pretty awesome. I love it. You know, the brick, the whole that grill thing in the middle. That's pretty fancy.
Yeah, the whole house was cool.
It was cool. But anyway, come relive little memories here. Come create new ones with the family. Come check out Game Day Roswell. Are you open now, or is everything officially open on Saturday?
No, we opened April 1st.
So you can come on in today and come play some games and maybe have some nachos or a hot dog or something or a beverage or two and come play or play some darts or come in today. What's your hours of operation right now?
Right now it's 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
There you go. So 11 to 8, come on in. And
it's very affordable. It is a private club.
Yeah.
Memberships are, it's a good deal.
Yeah. So come in, ask about that here today. Maybe you got to do laundry yourself. So bring your stuff, go get laundry, and while you're waiting, come on in and talk with Tom and check the place out. Come and maybe drop a quarter in a game or two real quick and play a round of Donkey Kong or.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
But come see it. Come see it for yourself. Sean and I, like I said, we got to walk through, and I ain't gonna lie, we're kind of like, can we just move in? This is pretty fun. Put a cot in the corner, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, got everything you need. Got everything you need.
It's really cool, and more's on the way here too. That's what the cool part is. You get to get in now while it's kind of all new and beginning, and kind of be a part of making it your own.
Oh, we're gonna expand from it.
Yeah.
If it all goes well, we're gonna be expanding, and the north end of the shopping center is wide open. I mean, you can have a semi go in there and make a U-turn.
Okay. So do you have the home complex there? Is that yours?
Yeah.
Okay. So so there's some future plans for even more of that.
We're going to do some outside stuff, probably cornhole.
Love that.
Yeah.
We could turn this into maybe weekends or just barbecuing in the parking lot, playing cornhole and pool and billiards and darts. And just turn it into a big little fun fest here.
Yeah.
And
just kick back and have fun.
Absolutely. So potential's there too. I could even see organizations incorporating it as part of their weekend things. I know a lot of nonprofits and things have conventions and various types of things here.
Oh yeah.
I don't see why they couldn't incorporate some of this Game Day Roswell into that experience and say, hey, we're going to have league night over at Game Day Roswell. We're all going to play billiards and I don't know, $2 long necks, whatever, do your specials and do your thing and have fun, that's
they have retreats and
I can easily see
team building, things like that. I know that it will probably be very busy when it comes time for Christmas and private parties.
That's the idea. That would be great. How many Christmas parties are going to be there? That'd be the best Christmas party in town, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You might actually get people to come to it.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Well, we can seat about 130, so.
Excellent.
It's great. A nice setup.
Yeah, so come see it for yourself. If you can't wait till the grand opening this Saturday, come on out to beginning at 11 o'clock today. You can come on down and check it out, maybe play a game or two, have lunch.
Yeah, and, come by, get the quarter tour.
Yeah, but if you want to see it all with its fancy party dress on, come see this Saturday. It'll be the big grand opening celebration from 1 to 4 p.m. this Saturday, May 4th.
And again, like you said, it's there on Sunset. Give out that actual address number there?
911.
911. I should remember that. It's pretty easy to remember there. 911 South Sunset. Come on out from 1 to 4. Free games, free taquitos, free hot dogs. They're going to have special prices on tap for Modelo and Dos Equis as part of Cinco de Mayo celebration as part of this too. So come check out your games, pick, kind of get your favorite ones and get your things, see it out, and, learn about becoming a member and just getting ready to introduce you to maybe what could be your next fun pastime for you and your family here.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, bring the kids, and if all you braggadocious parents talking about how you are the master of whatever game, time to show the kids your skill set.
hey, there's some married couples that have gone in there. You talk about competitive.
Oh, I imagine too.
They throw down. It's all business.
And there is air hockey in there because I know from experience, air hockey can get really ugly too, like competitive.
Oh yeah,
I've seen fights start over air hockey.
Yeah.
You're doing that slapping on purpose.
Yeah, that is a fun game.
But it's fun. Oh, I love air hockey.
It's so simple but so fun.
It is. But it's just one of those things. Like if you want to get a good debate between you and your friends, do it over air hockey table.
Yeah,
it always seems to start there. But come see it for yourself. Come check out Game Day Roswell. Come ready to have some fun. Come hungry. Come experience it for yourself. Bring the whole family. Like I said, May 4th, this Saturday, 1 to 4 is the grand opening. However, they're open now. You can come in starting at 11 today, 11 to 8. Come in for lunch and come maybe play a round of billiards or darts or something, or bust out your Donkey Kong skills. Whatever it is, we'd love to have you in. Come see it. Come check it out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. And then while you're at it, bring your laundry. Get it knocked out next door while you're there.
Why not?
Well, and that's something we've talked about in the past on the radio here. You've really gone, trying to make that a pleasant experience for folks, making it, a lot of, customer-friendly amenities, things like that. We get it. The highlight of your day is not sitting in 2 hours waiting for your laundry to get done. But Tom's like, I'm going to give you some fun, give you some stuff while you're here. We're going to make it a valuable use of your 2 hours while you're here.
Yeah, we even put a couple games in the laundry.
Yeah,
so.
To tease you.
Just to, pass the time.
That's right. More over here. Come on over.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but come check out Game Day Roswell and its brand new splendor, just now open. Come out for the grand opening this Saturday, May 4th, 1 to 4 p.m. Get ready for free food, free games, beer specials on beer, all kinds of stuff this Saturday. So good deal. We get it all, Tom? Anything we missed?
I think we got it all.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you out there Saturday.
All right.
And folks, it's Sean and I got a chance to see it. You'll love it. If you just love the nostalgia of some of those games and things from the 80s, it's your Shangri-La.
Oh, yeah. It's going to take you back.
Yeah, it's just fun. And, for folks our age, come be a kid again for an hour or two. Come be a kid for an hour. It'll be feed your own soul a little bit.
There you go.
So excellent. Well, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
And can't wait to see more and more things as we keep. And by the way, this is the ground floor. Like I said, there's more. Who knows what could be cornhole? This could turn into who knows? There might be roller derby in there for all we know.
Well, if it works out, there'll be more to come.
I know we got a following, maybe. You never know. So might as well make it the ultimate 80s experience, right?
There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, as always, Tom. We'll see you next time. Okay?
All right. Take care.
I'm Jared Sorello. Let's begin with a traffic alert for you in Roswell. Motorists are being asked to use extra caution on West Brasher Road between South Main Street and Washington Avenue on Thursday all day because crews are inserting cameras into manholes to inspect storm drain lines under the road. That section of West Brasher Road will remain open during the work, but traffic control measures will be in place. The NAACP Eddy County chapter recently hosted a candidate forum featuring folks running for public office in Eddy County. A statement from the chapter afterward says all candidates running in the June 4th Republican primary were invited to participate in the forum. It was held at Carlsbad's First Christian Church. Sheriff candidates and District 55 State House candidates took part. The sheriff race is between current Undersheriff Matthew Hutchinson and former Carlsbad police officer and Eddy County Sheriff's Deputy Victor Martinez. Current Sheriff Mark Cage cannot run again due to term limits. And State Representative Catherine Brown is being challenged by former Eddy County Commissioner Jack Volpato. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. A good day on the road for the Goddard Rockets softball team. Yesterday, the Rockets defeat Portales by a score of 7-4. Marisol Hernandez, sophomore, with 2 RBIs, and Marissa Crawford also with 2 ribbies for the Rockets, who broke a 4-4 tie with 3 runs in the top of the 7th. Goddard's now 13-11 overall, 3-4 in district play, and they will be playing at Lovington to close out the regular season. Doubleheader Friday starting at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, Roswell sure has shown that at times they can play with the best in their district. The Coyotes, though, lost, but not getting over the top. The Coyotes yesterday lost 5-4 in the opener of a doubleheader against Carlsbad, and that went into extra innings. Alexia Carrasco 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs for the Coyotes, and then Roswell lost the nightcap 8-1. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Gusty wind and very warm temperatures today. We're headed for the mid-90s on the afternoon high. Should get sunshine, wind gusting up to about 30 miles an hour. Overnight looks clear and breezy. Our lows in the upper 50s, and then we're expecting upper 80s for the afternoon high on Thursday. Still a little bit breezy, but not as windy, and we should get sunshine, sunny, and mid-80s on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. A new month on Wall Street. Fed decision looms and Amazon results sparkle. May trading kicks off after a rough month on Wall Street. A stock sell-off wrapped up April trading. The Dow Jones Industrials fell 570 points yesterday, capping off the worst month for the index in 2 years. The S&P snapped a 5-month win streak. The April tech slide left the Nasdaq off more than 3%. Fed meetings wrapping up today. No rate cut expected. Wall Street's still on edge. Recent data shows inflation still well above the Fed's 2% target. Qualcomm headlining today's tech reports. Second quarter results likely to reflect a rebound in the smartphone market. Wall Street targeting revenue at $9.3 billion year over year. Qualcomm stock up 18%. DoorDash reporting after the closing bell. Wall Street targeting revenue to have risen more than 20%. If the forecast holds up, that's a nearly 20% dip in revenue growth. On-demand food delivery customers feeling more inflationary pressure. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
Hey, Judge Janine here. You've heard me talking about Byrna. Listen to this story from John. John Kennedy was napping on his couch between shifts when a large intoxicated man broke through his door. John used a Byrna hidden in his couch to take the man's knees out, incapacitating him until police arrived. The New York compliant kit does not require a background check and can ship directly to your home. Visit Byrna.com/Janine now and you'll get 10% off your purchase. Just know Byrna products cannot be legally purchased or used in New York City and Yonkers.
This product may only be used for emergency self-defense purposes or to train. Please be trained for use accordingly.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Whatever you've got planned this week, cancel it. Because our biggest one-week sales event starts right now at the all-new Roswell Ford. Now till this Saturday, get huge Cinco de Mayo savings on all-new and quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford for less, with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. We have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10 grand. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker when you could buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from the all-new Roswell Ford for a whole lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Or visit us online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
Senator Greg Nybert is known as a conservative Republican who is effectively fighting for us in Santa Fe.
In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation that would penalize New Mexico businesses with outrageously expensive financial burdens. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans to own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
You don't have to live with a non-healing wound. The Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center at Artesia General Hospital provides compassionate care to people experiencing chronic or complicated wounds. Led by certified family nurse practitioner Rochelle McIntyre, our wound care team will work with you to build your customized treatment plan. Podiatrist Jennifer Chow and Joseph Krupa also specialize in lower limb wound care, and we are proud to have state-of-the-art hyperbaric oxygen chambers, a proven treatment that promotes successful healing. Visit artesiageneral.com/wound to learn more.
Attend the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th this weekend at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center in Roswell, New Mexico. See dealers selling the finest in modern guns, antique guns, custom knives, ammo, scopes, Old West collectibles, and much more. Buy, sell, and trade at the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th. Gun aficionados, you don't want to miss out on this huge selection of ammo. Over 500,000 rounds of ammo on sale. Winchester, Remington, 9mm, Luger, 38 Special, and more. Buy, sell, and trade at the Roswell Gun Show May 4th and 5th this weekend at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, 912 North Main Street in Roswell. Get $1 off admission. Go to azgunradio.com. That's azgunradio.com. Free parking.
Join Fiero 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 to 1 at Roswell Ford. It's a Cinco de Mayo celebration, and Roswell Ford is under new management with a whole new attitude, and they're ready to serve you. You'll find a great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles and huge discounts across the lot, plus a great team of experts ready to get the deal done today. We'll have street tacos and ice-cold drinks and a celebration of all things Cinco de Mayo. See you Saturday at Roswell Ford, 9th and Main in Roswell with Fiero 106.1 FM.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is coming up here in just a few seconds. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to play our interview we had with Sheriff Mike Harrington and Lieutenant Charles Drake. They joined us last Friday. Give us an update what's happening there. So we'll play that for you next hour. But first, Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. KEND or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Anti-Israel protests have been cleared at universities in Los Angeles and New York, among other places. Police moved in at UCLA after violence broke out, while the NYPD handled protesters who had taken over Hamilton Hall at Columbia University.
To cheers, the arrested Columbia students were driven away in buses, their hands zip-tied behind their backs. The police had moved in force, long lines in riot gear filing up a ladder into a second-floor window of the administrative building occupied by the students less than 24 hours earlier. They also took apart the encampment at the center of the campus, which for the past few weeks has become the focal point of protests that have spread to dozens of U.S. universities, with the total number of arrests nationwide now at more than 1,000.
The BBC's John Sudworth says dozens of arrests at Columbia. Do you have doubts about the media's coverage of the election? If you do, you have plenty of company.
53% of those who responded to the poll by the American Press Institute, the Associated Press, and the North Center for Public Affairs Research say they're extremely or very concerned that news organizations will report inaccuracies or misinformation during the election. 42% express worry that news outlets will use generative artificial intelligence to create stories. 47% express serious concern that news outlets would report information that has yet to be confirmed or verified, and 44% worry that accurate information will be presented in a way that favors one side. I'm Donna Warder.
Pressing his current Mideast shuttle diplomacy mission, Secretary of State Blinken in Israel has met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Watching Wall Street, the Dow's up 95 points, NASDAQ down 14. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Colombia's president says hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammo and weaponry have gone missing from 2 military bases in the South American country.
Mr. Petro blamed a network of corrupt military personnel and civilians who've been operating for many years. Among the missing items are anti-tank missiles, grenades, and bulletproof vests. He has promised a full investigation and said his government was planning to check the inventories of other military compounds. Mr. Petro said it was unacceptable that weapons that belong to the armed forces were being used to kill soldiers fighting organized crime and rebel groups.
The BBC's Leonardo Russia. Workers, activists, and others in Asian capitals and European cities are marking May Day with rallies and marches demanding better working condition and greater labor rights. In Seoul, thousands of protesters sang, they waved flags and shouted pro-labor slogans at the start of their rally. News and analysis at townhall.com. An important Civil War-era document signed by President Lincoln will go on display at his library and museum, Springfield, Illinois.
It's a document in which Lincoln ordered a blockade of southern ports along the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Mexico in April of 1861. The Union's naval power thereby put a chokehold on the Confederacy's export of cotton and import of necessary material. The document will go on display at the Presidential Museum from Wednesday to February 2025. Keith Peters reporting.
A bill that opponents claim would curb freedom of the press has sparked massive protests in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia. Police deployed tear gas and water cannons, dispersing protesters in the capital, Tbilisi. An opposition MP posting a picture of himself on social media with a bloodied face and heavy bruising. Dozens of people were arrested in the Georgian capital. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3
Tracy Piernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your Wednesday's going well. Got, of course, a lot of stuff going on Don't forget the Moms Love and Hope Big Carnival. We got that's going on the rest of this week and into the weekend. Every night, through they'll be open at 6 through Friday this week, and then they'll be open early on Saturday, and then the final day on Sunday. You can still get unlimited ride armbands each day or whatever, but that carnival's still going on through the rest of this week and into the weekend. So you still got time to get out there and bring your family and have some fun and all that good stuff. So that, turn your microphone back on, nip the tune, and come out there and ride the rides and get your eat on with the food trucks and all that. That's why I love, because Roswell's food truck game is coming strong now.
It really is.
It's in that's kind of, and I know that's the way of the world where the food truck is kind of the new way to get into the restaurant business.
And there's a rumor I heard that the return is coming this summer of Food Truck Friday.
Oh, good to hear that. I know, yeah, Main Street has always talked about that, and they kind of, because it is very popular and, formal and informal. I mean, it's great to see that they're working to kind of make that a logistic staple as part of our Fridays again. That'd be a good thing. So, but in the meantime, get on down to the carnival and the Moms Love and Hope Fair. Like I said, everything will open up here about the rides and everything about 6 o'clock tonight, and then it'll do that way. Do they open at 5 or 6 on Friday? I can't remember.
I think 5 o'clock on Friday and then 11 on Saturday.
And then 4 on Sunday is the last day.
Yeah.
That'll be Cinco de Mayo is the final day.
Now, there are additional activities on Sunday outside of the carnival that I think happened earlier in the day.
Yeah, they're going to be stuff, and I'm imagining
they're doing I think a taco eating contest.
Yes. So yeah.
I'm surprised we don't have more of those.
More taco eating contest?
Taco eating contest?
Well, in the past, we've had taco eating contest, jalapeno eating contest.
Yeah, and I think they got both.
That sounds like...
Yeah.
Well,
I think they're doing both at the jalapeno.
Well, we've had an ice cream eating contest.
We did.
I don't think we've ever had a taco.
Oh, yeah. No. Usually during the Chili Cheese Fest, they do a taco.
Pinata Fest, actually.
Pinata Fest, I'm sorry.
Is
when they do the... Yeah, they'll do a taco eating contest.
It's really sad. I used to feel like I could hang, but I have no appetite these days.
Not anymore. I would have been out in the jalapeno. I like hot, but I can't eat hot in quantities like that. I would die.
Now, if we're talking about fresh jalapenos,
yeah,
that's a tough sell for me. If we're talking about pickled jalapenos,
yeah,
I'm in. If we're talking about La Castena pickled jalapenos, I could win. I will sit and eat a whole jar of those things.
I have a better shot at the tacos than I do at the jalapenos.
Yeah, you really have to have an iron constitution to make it through that many jalapenos.
Yeah.
There's always the skinny guy who is the disposal. And
that was like Kobayashi dude.
Yep.
Yeah, he literally looks like
look at Stoney.
Yeah.
Matt Stoney. He's a pretty thin guy by all comparisons.
They're not all Johnny Chess or what's his name? Mark Chestnut.
Not Mark Chestnut.
He's the singer.
He's a country artist. Yeah.
It's Chestnut. I can't remember his
Joey
Chestnut.
Joey Jaws Chestnut. I always thought that he should have gone by Joey the Gut Chestnut. But
I like
by
that.
Joey Jaws Chestnut.
Yeah. Not him.
No.
Is he a millionaire at this point?
I got to imagine.
Be, right?
I got to imagine.
Well, I've seen him do marketing. Like he's one of the more recent things I've seen that's national was pistachios. He was doing
really?
The pistachio commercials.
Nice.
Johnny or what's his name?
Joey
Chestnut.
Not important enough to remember here.
Eats his pistachios whatever way.
That man. The only thing is he owns something that I will probably never get to put my hands on, lay my hands on. The belt.
Yeah.
The
belt's kind of a big deal.
The green Nathan's hot dog belt. I want one so bad, but you cannot buy a recreation.
Well, when his 15 minutes of fame dries off and he's broke, and then it'll be on eBay somewhere.
I've looked, man. I cannot find
like OJ's Heisman. It'll be up there.
I think they make new ones every year, but I cannot find a replica belt for the Nathan's hot dog.
Well, I don't think it exists. I think they deliberately make it hard to do to make it more valuable.
As a person who has watched people make belts over the years, I find it hard to believe that I can't find somebody to recreate that belt.
The Nathan's people are locking that down, man. They're like, no, you will not get access to our belt.
It's awful.
You've got to win the Coney Island hot dog eating challenge.
That just shows me a pack of hot dogs. Yeah, that's not what I want. I don't want a belt made of hot dogs.
I wonder if competing hot dog companies have had a hot dog eating contest, because let's face it.
Oh, like Nathan's.
A Nathan's hot dog is not the same as a ballpark hot dog.
No.
They're not they're different animals.
Nathan's versus...
Well, no, they're probably the same animal.
Actually, I doubt it, because I know the Nathans are beef. All
That's
beef.
true.
Ballpark, I don't.
See, I can find belts for everything. You can make belts for this one here it says it's a tournament champion, and it's got a video game controller on it. You could literally have a belt for your games tournament.
Yes.
World's greatest text here. I want a belt that just says world greatest text here. That's awesome.
That you can have.
Yes, you can. But
what
no,
you can't have is a Nathan's Hot Dog Championship.
I want you to have a belt that says the Gator on it.
No.
That's a pull, but it's
the Gator. I've heard that in years.
Neither have I, thankfully.
I'm trying to make it a thing again. Make fetch happen.
That's funny. But
Sorry,
yeah.
those were the dark times.
And they do that. That's July 4th, so that's coming up. We'll get to that'll be coming up again here. So I'm assuming Joey's competed or retired.
I think he's still. I think he was like last year was maybe his last year. I'm not real sure. I'd be curious.
Well, Kobayashi makes a bunch of money online,
Maybe.
right? Like he doesn't he do like TikTok videos of him eating?
I
and stuff?
don't know if that's him. I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think it is. There's a guy on there whose name is Bayashi.
Okay.
Who eats like a massive amount of weird stuff. But I don't know if he can monetize
he's
that.
an imitator.
Yeah.
Okay, I just thought he was, because I don't think Joey Chestnut does that, right? He doesn't go online and eat.
Crazy.
Okay.
I haven't typed anything. All I typed was the word "does" into Google.
Yes.
Does Kobayashi still compete? That's the literal first thing that popped up.
It do be like that.
It sometimes do be like that, though.
Listening? By the way, I saw Queensryche's going to be back in town in Albuquerque here in a couple weeks.
Takeru Kobayashi is done hot dogging it. The Japanese competitive eater dominated the Nathan's hot dog eating contest in the early 2000s. His reign launched the event's popularity into the new stratosphere, but soon after his 6 straight title wins, Kobayashi was nowhere to be found.
So he ghosted us.
Maybe
he did.
Maybe Artesia should have a...
He did like that meme with the dude and disappeared.
Smoke bomb!
That meme gets me every time, because when they put it in the right spot, I've seen it 100 times, when it shows up, I'm like, I do it every time.
That Skeletor meme's almost always good.
Oh yeah, those get me too. The one where he says his little quip and runs off.
Until next time.
Yeah. And I was joking about that yesterday with Roy, and I said, in real life, the cartoon, Skeletor was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, he was always doing dumb things. So, I mean, it seems kind of ironic he's the guy giving us smart aleck advice now.
Or the one, and it's in very similar style. It's He-Man on a jet ski. And it just shows until we meet again. He's riding away.
Yeah. I don't remember what that thing was called, but I had it as a toy.
The He-Man
I had
jet
a few
ski.
hits. I did.
I
had Man-at-Arms. I had He-Man.
Nice.
I had a Skeletor with the... And the Skeletor and He-Man I had some kind of weird... Like, if you punched it in the chest, it rolled to, like, a battle...
Like damage.
Yeah.
One of the coolest features of a toy I had when I was a kid, and you might actually remember this, Jurassic Park toys. You could get them with dino damage.
Ooh.
It had a section of their leg that would pop off, and
yeah.
it would show their like leg meat.
Jurassic Park 3 specifically,
yeah.
I think.
Had with added dino damage.
Like,
no wonder we're tortured as
It
adults.
was, we just wanted to see dino leg meat.
Yeah.
I guess it gets back to that thing. You guys had Sonic. I had Rambo.
Hey, man.
Well, that's what we were talking about was Knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought
I compared him to
It's not
Tasmanian Devil.
necessarily fair, because you had Rambo, we had Terminator.
True.
That would be the side by side.
My cartoons were different.
I
than
will
your
say
cartoons.
this: you had Q*bert.
Yeah.
We had Sonic.
I mean, Thundercats guys look way tougher than the Sonic people, and they look borderline.
We had SWAT
weird.
cats.
SWAT cats.
Now see this. That's actually after my time. I remember SWAT Cats because my brother watched it, but
Yeah.
I was a huge Thundercats fan.
Yeah.
My mom said Snarf was like my favorite.
And to be honest, that was later.
creature
Like that
ever.
was like more younger. I was more into the Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask.
Right.
Was another one I liked. In fact, you have to look that one up. You know what Mask is. It was basically a knockoff of Transformers.
I was gonna say it's like Transformers.
But it was kind of had an environmental twist. Like they were eco warriors, but they drove cool cars that transformed into battle cars.
It was an acronym, and I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
it was
MASK.
Yeah.
Well, because there wasn't a Mask cartoon about the Jim Carrey movie.
No, not that.
Or the Cher movie, for that matter. If you want to go into that's my favorite Mask movie.
That's a very depressing.
It's Rocky Dennis and Cher.
Depressing.
And Sam Elliott and Eric Stoltz. That's my. Have you seen that movie, Roy?
Yes, I've seen.
Yeah, I know you have. I didn't know Roy had. Oh yeah, go look that one up with Cher and Sam Elliott and Eric Stoltz as the Mask. It's not the Jim Carrey story at all. It's a different story altogether. But ladies, I would say Sam Elliott in vintage form for all you, because Sam Elliott's 700 years old, but there's still women that swoon to him. Like there's certain dudes that keep going, even there. Like Sean Connery is another one.
Well, he was born that way. He was born old. Like
he was born old.
Sam Elliott was born with that mustache and the gray hair.
Right.
But
he rolled out of his mom. He's like, "Hello there, me, huh?"
But Mask, Sam Elliott, ladies, you're gonna be looking and liking. Just saying, because he's a biker dude, and he's always wearing the jeans and the biker, and
Does he say smoking?
Oh, I don't know. He's kind of he's more chill. He's more of a rat. He's like Rocky's best dude. He's his dad and everything. It's cool. He's adopted dad. He's not really his dad. Shares his mom, but Sam Elliott's the boyfriend.
The show was produced by Kenner Products.
Oh,
it was actually produced by the people who made the toys.
He-Man?
No, Mask.
Oh, Mask. Okay.
The toys came first. It stood for Mobile Armored Strike Command.
There it is. Yeah.
Command.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I got to get our interview going, so we better shut our holes. It is 9:18. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to play our interview with Sheriff Mike Harrington and LT, Lieutenant Charles Drake, as well. Don't go away.
This is Candy Spency-Zell. I've been involved in agriculture my whole life. I own our cattle ranch with my husband, and I still own family farms with my brothers down by Artesia. My dad was a farmer. His dad was a farmer. Agriculture and livestock is in my blood, and that's who I am. I have a lifetime's worth of experience and knowledge on the issues facing farmers and ranchers in New Mexico. I'm running for the state senate because I want to fight for our rights and our needs. I will protect our water in New Mexico, and especially here in the southeast. I will make sure that water rights from our basins are not bought up by developers and pumped to Albuquerque and Santa Fe. As your senator, I will protect our water. I'm Candy Spency-Zell asking for your vote in the upcoming Republican primary on June the 4th.
Paid for by Candy Spency-Zell for State Senate, District 32.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
New Mexico Governor Lujan Grisham has pursued an agenda to seriously impair and remove your Second Amendment rights to use, own, or purchase firearms and firearm-related items in our state. Last legislative session, District 27 Republican Senator Greg Nibert worked effectively and successfully with the NRA and other pro-Second Amendment groups to defeat the governor's attempt to ban or register firearms and accessories. We must retain legislators like Senator Nibert, who has the proven knowledge, skills, and experience to stop the liberal progressives from imposing upon our constitutional rights. Senator Nibert is the only candidate running for Senate District 27 to be rated A and endorsed by the NRA. Please vote to retain Senator Greg Nibert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nibert for State Senate.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning. And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Sheriff Mike Terrington's here. He's finishing up a phone call. I think he just officially finished here.
Yes,
and
I
then
did.
we have Lieutenant Charles Drake with us as well. Morning, guys.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing today?
Doing great.
Good. I know, did either one of you, were you out there all night last night for the fire stuff,
No.
or just for the
So we let the
beginning of it?
Yeah, the firemen handled that perfectly. We were there at the beginning of it, and then we let them take it from there.
Excellent. So, just kind of whatever updates and things you can get, because I know obviously that's probably the biggest story in town right now is that fire that hit out at the air cell.
Yeah.
Down at the base in the airport this yesterday here, and obviously because of the nature of some of the things that are in that building, they had to do some evacuations and stuff because they didn't. If that stuff cooks up, that's a problem for people.
Yeah, so that was one of the things that everyone's worried about was the chemicals that could possibly be in the building. They didn't know exactly what they had, but I'll tell you this: the fire departments, all the fire departments in the county responded to that, and they worked great together. I was listening to the communication on the radio. I did hear them say that we need to evacuate, half-mile radius, and then after a while, they came back and said, no, the wind's going to stay in the same direction that it is. There's no need to evacuate anybody. So they were on top of things. It was just in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The unknown is scary.
Sure.
So
yeah.
And for me as the sheriff, my main concern was once they declared it a hazmat fire, my concern was for the people who live on the base.
Sure.
And those who surround the base. So we made it very clear at that time through my post, and after hearing what the fire department said about starting to evacuate anybody within that half mile, we put it out there immediately.
Absolutely. You want to always err on the side of caution.
Yeah, err on the side of caution,
Yeah.
put that down. And then the city of Roswell contacted me and told me, no, we're not going to have anybody evacuate. We want them to shelter in place. And apparently that was the right decision to be made. So whatever decision is made, that's what we're going to go with. But the main thing at the very beginning is to make sure everybody is safe.
Absolutely.
Because you also have everyone in town trying to go see a big fire.
Oh yeah, then you got the rubberneckers,
Yep. So that's why
I
we
need
wanted
to be there. Where I've got a family member that's 10 miles from there.
Yes.
And we get it all,
And-
and I get it because the public does. We're always concerned, but and really that's sheriff's department and law enforcement. No, the firefighters are the ones that are fighting the fire. The sheriff's department's serving that role, keeping people away, answering, navigating when people have the questions and the, hey, I need to do this. No, you guys are kind of that front line of defense to keep the public safe, a way to let the firefighters do their job.
That's right.
It's like, now we're not in the fire. Unless you're the first one on the scene, then guess what? It's not uncommon for a sheriff's deputy to grab a fire hose or an extinguisher or something and start putting out a fire to the fire department.
Or run into the fire. We've had that happen. So and so the sheriff's department, the Roswell Police Department, the state police, everybody worked good together, keeping things blocked off. We did have the road departments, and everybody came out and put up barriers as well. So. Yeah, but we know that barriers don't keep anybody out, really. They just...
wait till it rains every time and all these roads flood and you see a barrel sitting there. Don't go this way. First thing you do, some idiot stuck in the middle. So they drove right around the barrel thinking, I got a truck that'll get through here, and then it didn't.
So that's what we...
It's just another obstacle to go around.
Yeah. Right. I think you guys, when you get like that, you probably spend a good chunk of your mornings just getting people out of standing water.
Yes,
half
you
the
do.
time.
And the tow trucks love it.
Right.
Yeah. But they
clean up on that.
Yeah.
Our big thing on that is that it's normally, and it's the craziest thing, people who live in the area. So they've had water crossing the road so many times, they just think that we can do it again.
Sure.
And
it's Russian roulette, man. Just because you got away with it one time, don't mean you got to do it every time.
And because you got tires on your car, it becomes a boat very fast for a short distance.
Yeah,
and then it sinks or
you don't realize the power of standing water, especially if it starts moving.
Yep.
It's moving buildings. It's moving things.
Yes.
You and your little Hyundai Sonata ain't gonna make it sweat.
When it can when they can tear up a concrete bridge with rebar.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But getting to I haven't heard anything, but no casualty injuries, anything to report.
As far as I know, none.
The good.
So
I was like, I haven't heard anything, which is a good sign. But so that maybe we'll call our blessing in disguise. The fact that it happened at the time it happened, it was maybe a time where less people were in the building at the time, and so they were able to get out before it got too bad. And so that's our blessing in disguise. We never want to see something like this happen, but it may have been better to happen when it happened versus say 2 in the afternoon or something.
And I will tell you, for our community, we need Aircell and those other businesses out there to get back to business quickly, because they are a very big
the backbone
company.
of this of Chaves County, really.
So we really do wish them the best as well, getting all that going.
I imagine they I don't know their numbers, but they employ a good hunk of people.
Yes,
in
they
this
do.
town. So
they do. So we
I would say they're one of our major employers when you look at companies in Chaves County. They're probably in the top 10 there.
That is right, and the aircraft companies depend on them. So
absolutely,
we want that to happen quickly, and we just pray that all of it does.
But please, if you don't have business down there, don't go down there. Don't be down there to be the looky-loo. Let the fire department, let first responders, because it's still an active scene. They're investigating. They're doing they're trying to determine causes and all that. Now let them do that. Don't be over there rubbernecking and doing that.
Yeah.
Nothing good can come from that. At best, you walk away. You get in the way. At worst, you get hurt or someone else gets hurt.
And because the roadway system out there is very congested. It's just a couple ways into the base, and if people are out there parked or looking around or sitting in there, it congests a lot of places. So
absolutely.
But I think what I seen last night was the people could see the fire from a distance, so they stayed back.
It was a good visual as far as fires go, and it made it good for media and visual. It was a good head turner when you get online. Ooh, look at that!
Look at that! Yeah,
it was good.
And
for
right
that.
with the big tower.
You put the Roswell water tower. It
adds
that local flavor to it. And everyone was probably seeing that. Oh my God! It was Gossip City.
So it's once again it got to show. To me, and I believe to the community, that we have fire departments that know how to handle that kind of stuff, and so
our
did a great
professionals
job.
and our volunteers are all every one of those men and women. We are
did
greatly,
a great job,
and especially when you get out, you get out of Roswell into Dexter, Hager, man, you get some of them volunteer guys, and some of them they've been doing it 20. They're probably more experienced. I was going to say, they probably got more experience than probably folks in Dallas and some of these fire chiefs and stuff. It's like they've been literally doing this for half their lives. Mm-hmm. And it's like they know fire way more than someone that's just new to the ball game here.
James down there, James Solis, he knows that stuff, man.
It's kind of like that movie Backdraft. If y'all remember that in the 90s with Shadow and Robert De Niro. And he's like, well, Shadow. I mean, it's literally these people like live that lifestyle. I could tell it. The fire went this way. It creeped over here. It's like, that's great. I know it.
So we've seen some good stuff come out of this. Like I said, it's bad for that the fire happened, but we got to see our firemen do some good things. So and that's necessary sometimes, where you gotta everything you train on. Let's see how it comes together. And when something like this happens, a tragedy happens, that's whenever you actually get to see how.
Yeah. Well, and this one, it's tragedy. We don't want to happen, but you know what? We can replace buildings. We can replace that stuff.
Right.
What we can't replace, we didn't lose, and that's what we're thankful about. So
but other than that, like I said, that was the big news.
The big scuttlebutt of the day.
The big news, but we've also been doing some other things, and I don't know if you know tomorrow, or if you're advertising tomorrow at the American Legion. They're doing their.
The Roswell Refuge is big domestic violence at 70 stance. It's for their fundraising event for the refuge and for the SANE program, which is those are the folks that help victims of sexual assault. Like if a person is sexually assaulted or raped, these are the folks that come in and first help them medically, making sure their needs are taken care of, and then mentally, if they wish to prosecute. They're the ones that collect evidence for law enforcement, for you guys to prosecute and do all that they need to do. They they do some of the hardest but most appreciated work in probably the area right now is what they do. So they're asking people to come and put your bell bottoms and best 70s duds, your polyester suits, and
it's like from I think it's 7 to 11 or something like that, maybe 6:30 to 11. But it's going on for a long time tomorrow night, so that's one thing we'll have guys out there.
I think I have silent auction stuff, and so if you like sports memorabilia or stuff like that, please bid generously on that.
Go out there and support them.
Help our and I get a chance every once in a while to talk to some of the folks that do that.
Yeah.
And I don't envy them. I'm so thankful for them.
Yeah.
But there's no way in hell I want their job.
No,
I would. It's just too much to take. It's just like, man. So
and that's all on an increase. Everything right now is being doubled. Pretty much all crimes against persons are just a doubling thing in our society today, where people just don't.
Well, when the world we live in, people when you feel anxious or feel like, and that's just the way we live in. Yeah. You tend to lash out.
Yes,
and,
you do.
And that's what you see a lot of here is,
you do.
How many times, I mean, we live in this world now where, somebody gets crossed in a store nowadays. It isn't just go about your day or screw you or walk off. Now it's turned into a federal case because they're about ready to fight over a can of beans or something stupid. And you're just like,
crash your car into your car,
and that's
crash
their
their car into your car.
It's like everyone's stress levels are up here, and they're just flying off the handle for no reason. What do you mean you bent my paper clip?
That's right.
It's like we're at that point where it's like, all right, settle down, calm down. Yeah, it's not the end of the world because they slighted you by taking the beans first or whatever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's just it. I'm going to gauge, and this is probably not even just code, but this is life in general. But anytime you guys are dealing with a domestic or a dispute between two people, whether it's a home dispute or two guys having it at a gas station, 99.99% of the time it's over something stupid like a food or he said this or something. It's something that it escalated way past where it needed to get to.
And it usually comes from a third person, so it's the gossip mill that causes a lot of people to become upset.
Yeah.
And they've taken it out of the person who's a part of the gossip is taking it out of context, and then they go and tell this person, and then it becomes a big mess.
Yeah.
And nobody fights. Now it's we're gonna come to you. We'll come to you with guns. We'll come to you with knives. We'll come.
Fighting is too. A punch to the face is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But we're like, no, we're past that now. We're going nuclear. We're like, it's like, like, oh, you cut me off. I'm going to kill you and your family and the generations of the family. And you're like, whoa.
Escalates real fast.
Yeah. That's the mindset of people nowadays. It's scary.
With the mental illness and things that we're seeing more and more because of drug use.
Yeah.
Really and truly, this is a drug-induced mental illness time that we're dealing with. And as they're going, we have seen people within 1 year just completely change. Actually, some of them less than a year.
Now, let me ask you: is it the cannabis stuff, or is it more your meth
it's
and
the meth,
that
fentanyl?
Gotcha. I mean, because I know when you say that, I'm like, well, we just started the thing. Are people putting that two to two together?
No,
I'm like, is that what you're seeing, or is it something more?
But you got to remember that if you're not getting your cannabis from an actual pharmacy,
it's a crapshoot what you're getting.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot because most people will lace everything with fentanyl.
Sure. And even still, just because the dispensaries are here and they're legal, you need to treat it just like alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't give it to minors. You don't buy it for minors. You don't smoke it or ingest it when you're about to drive or do anything like you would. It's the same rules apply to alcohol to marijuana that alcohol, and even more so.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that we have to really work on the DWI system because. For marijuana, just the odor on you, just your impairment, you're going to be guilty of driving while impaired.
Sure, and there are levels of that, and the courts are going to have to figure that out one day because marijuana does you hit it one time, you're not going to be falling around stupid unless you've never done it before.
And I support medical marijuana 100%. I've seen it in my own family where it has helped people who are on their deathbed.
But just like anything else, it comes with the responsibilities, and like anything else can be misused and mistreated. And if you don't treat it as such, then you're going to have problems.
Yeah.
You're going to have problems with the law or worse.
And our biggest concern right now, I'll just tell you, is now that it has become legal, the accessibility to kids has become even more.
Well, and that's the dangerous, because, and we've all seen the packaging and things when they sell the candies that are laced with it. It looks like products for children.
I
mean, that's the problem.
Bears, that's kids.
Yeah,
that's kids.
So I'm thinking at some point they're probably going to have to do something, and that maybe that's going to happen when it eventually goes federally legal, and then Congress sits in and said you can't make marijuana products look like a child's candy or something, which is probably a good idea. We don't want to market it to kids and things. We don't want to. If you're a grown person and you won't buy it because it looks,
and I think
it doesn't look.
That was put forward in the last legislative session.
Gotcha.
I don't know if it was passed, but
no.
Well, I would completely agree with cracking down on that stuff. You have to be so stringent on allowing.
I agree with that.
Who gets access to it. I mean, and look, it's like alcohol. Look, you're a grown adult.
Right.
If you want to have a beer at the end of the day, or if you want to have a joint at the end of the day, God bless you.
But also, alcohol is clearly labeled, and you can distinguish that is a beer can, or whatever, unless you got it in a cup or something. But that way, if a kid sees that on the counter, they know that that's
adults,
adult
not for
stuff.
you,
right?
And
so that's where
I'm not going
we're
to
at.
tell people how to run their households, but maybe you shouldn't be leaving that kind of stuff just in plain sight anyway.
Well,
I don't. I put beer in the fridge, but I don't leave it like in. You know what I mean?
I think that's.
I don't
where,
think I leave my joint sitting on the coffee table for all to enjoy.
When it became legal, when it was illegal, it was hid.
Right.
Now it became legal. Now you just come in and you just throw it
just
around.
sitting
whatever
on the kitchen table,
whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And
but you can't, especially if you got. If it's only adults in the house, or you live by yourself, then you do you. But if you have children, particularly, and even teenagers, because hello,
and that's the biggest thing that we're getting with our school resource officer is she's being told when she's making contact with these kids that are high, is that they got it from a family member.
Sure. And because they obviously can't walk into a dispensary and do it. They're going to be rejected.
Yes.
They're getting it through a second party. It's either mom and dad bought it for them, or their buddy, or they bought it from not a dispensary and bought it from a guy on the street. And that could be like, put it this way. I know enough to know that it's a problem. I don't know enough to know how big of a problem.
Yeah.
When you talk about the synthetic marijuanas and things like that, that's a different animal altogether than plants that grow on the ground.
Absolutely.
And that stuff, they lace it with other stuff. It's chemicals, and people are dying from it, thinking they're just getting something that's like marijuana. And I know I'm a little behind the eight ball. There's probably even worse stuff than that going on now, but that's what we talk about, not getting it from the dispensary and stuff. You don't know.
Well, we've seen spice and things like that just damage people's brains.
And if one little bit of fentanyl gets in there, you could be dead.
Oh, you could be dead. Yeah.
Dead, and you don't get a chance to come back from that one.
No.
So it is too stupid to do that kind of stuff.
That's one of the things that right now for us as law enforcement, we're out there, we're dealing with it, and you chose to use your fentanyl.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't choose to be exposed to it. And so for us, all of a sudden, you could be just out.
Yeah.
And if you don't have someone around who can administer to you your
the
Narcan.
Narcan.
That's it.
My,
Yeah, I was trying to think of the name
my mind
of it.
was nasal. I was going to say nasal.
No, that's not. That's a
yeah. I wanted to say nasal, but it wasn't. It was Narcan. So
I kept thinking tryptophan.
But the Narcan is very effective if someone's there to use it.
Absolutely.
And so they're the ones who have to administer it to you because, as you see, some people become paralyzed to the point where they can't move at all.
Oh yeah.
So it is a dangerous, scary time.
But you're even getting in the world too, where like you said, you have your people that knowingly have ingested the fentanyl, but some of these folks have just taken spice or cocaine or heroin, thinking it's spice or cocaine or heroin, and they cut it with fentanyl. Next thing you know, now they're hooked on fentanyl or dead because of the fentanyl.
They're dead, right?
And that's why this is so deadly. This is why don't buy that crap on. I mean, the hard drugs you shouldn't do anyway. But if you choose to do the cannabis and you can't go in a dispensary, then you don't need to go. Wait till you're 18 and then go. Do not buy it off the street. Do not, because it's again getting. I said for the second time, Russian roulette. If the first time you do it, you're fine. That's good for you.
Yep.
Second time, and eventually you're going to do this, and there's going to be the bullet in the chamber.
Yes.
And it's going to catch up to you.
Well, one thing he mentioned just a minute ago was our school resource officer. So today we should have our school resource officer truck out.
Nice.
Got the call this morning.
So it has the schools that we represent. Yes, and that's the
you
ones,
guys are the ones that are out of the city limits.
Yeah,
generally,
out of the
as
country,
county.
not the county.
Yeah,
the country, right? Because the county is all the schools.
Yeah.
Even inside the city, county is everywhere. Country or outside the city limits is where we're at. So you'll see on the back of the trucks that we have, they have the decals or the mascots of the schools.
Cool.
And it looks really nice. And so but let me tell you right now, Olivia Padilla, who is my school resource officer right now, I'm going to have another one here coming up before the school year starts. But I will tell you, man, she is doing a fantastic job.
To be honest, that could be some of the most important jobs in
really
law
is.
enforcement is that because it not only are you serving and protecting in the schools, but you're also setting the example for these kids to see a positive in law enforcement.
Right.
If you have a good resource officer that gets with these kids, which I'm sure is what we're seeing here, when they graduate and things, they're going to be like, they're going to see law enforcement in a much better light because they've seen it in a more intimate setting.
And she's staying busy.
She is staying busy, and she really does interact with these kids. She's very passionate about this job
because they kind of, in essence, be friends a little bit. Because they're in the hallways, and one minute they're disciplining, but the next minute it's like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Don't do good in that test, or you know what I mean? They're part of the life of the kids.
So we posted her out at Brindle Elementary School doing that color run for their fundraiser. Where they're using all the different paints and colors and stuff. And the other schools were calling, hey, when is she going to do that for us? So that's going to be that.
So she's in demand.
Yeah, she's in demand. Really,
and she helps with the schools that are inside the city, too.
Yeah, she does. So, absolutely.
Yeah,
but your priority is the, because RPD and stuff have resources in some of these schools.
And
the ones outside in the country,
and they work
it's the
together.
Sheriff's Department. That's what you got. So,
so right now they work together. So we're everywhere, but there are schools inside the city limits that we have her go to, especially those that are around the outskirts.
Well, the more the merrier.
City
We can never have enough law enforcement presence in our schools, especially now.
She's doing
in
a
the world we live
fantastic
in.
job. And then Lieutenant Holy, who is over my training and also over the court security, he's also been going with her as well as some of the other deputies. Like right now, we have Goddard's going to have their career day, and then we just do Mesa. We've done all the schools pretty much have one, and then I have another one of my sergeants is out. He's going to be doing training at Leprino Job Corps and also at Youth Challenge for DWI stuff.
Hitting some of our major employers
and to hit on
organizations.
the DWI stuff, we're going to be conducting checkpoints and saturation patrols for the month of May. So
be on the lookout. Yeah, Memorial Day that weekend, and never drink and drive or text and drive or cannabis and drive. I don't know what that drug and drive. I don't know what they call that yet.
Yeah.
We'll work on the marketing.
Yeah. But. So for prom dates, for graduation dates, we will be out in force on those days. We're going to actually be at.
We just had the every 15 minutes in Dexter here a couple weeks ago,
and that was very successful.
And I would love it to have a problem that when we do our every 15 minutes, we're having trouble finding families to speak.
Yes,
because that means kids aren't dying.
Yep.
I would love to get to the point. It's like we're going to do the accent, but you know what? We're short on guest speakers because we don't have as many tragedies now. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. So, and I hope the kids and people when they got involved let that sink home.
Yeah.
The families that speak, the families you talk to. I think this year we had an offender this time, and someone who was on the other side of the coin,
actually,
and how that person's dealing with life after their mistake.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be on either side of this coin. And I hope the mistakes of these people, and now that they're kind enough to basically share their lesson to hopefully stop what happened to them or what they did for others, please let that sink in. And if you get caught at the DWI checkpoint and you're drunk, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
they just saved your life that night. Yeah, you're going to have some legal problems.
Well,
but you know what? You get to talk about it tomorrow, and other people do too because you didn't kill nobody.
The craziest comment that I get is, you're doing a checkpoint. Everybody knows where it is, so you just the drunk's going to go somewhere else.
You think that, right, huh?
You think, yeah, but
y'all
I'm going to
crooks
tell
are
you.
stupid.
Yeah. They come
It's
right
like
to the
they're
point.
attracted to the
They're
light.
attracted
I mean,
to
how
the
many
light.
cases?
Yes,
How
that's
many?
right.
But even in the world of things, you see it
Yes.
all the time. The cops
Yeah.
roll up and ask a question, and there's a dude laying on the ground. Is
Yeah.
like, "Did you knock him out?" "No, I didn't knock him out."
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, how did he get his teeth like that?" "Well, when my fist hit him right here." But they said you didn't knock him out.
That's right.
That
Yeah.
They literally out themselves
Yes,
by
they do.
doing it.
Well, and
So-
they do, and they come to the checkpoints. But more importantly, what we want people to know is that we are out there and we are doing what we can. And this is the best part for me, where the checkpoint is it's like the fly trap. That's where we're going to catch you if you drive in. But the best part is we have deputies out all around.
seeing the U-turners
and the
trying to
guys
avoid.
trying to go down the side road.
And those are the ones that are saying,
yeah, that's the ones that you get.
"You okay,
for-
bud?
yeah.
I saw you. Would you forget something? Would you
Yeah.
leave your keys at
And-
home?
and-
What happened
and-
there?"
Yeah, and the law is very clear. Once you enter that that area, you can't do that. So,
Absolutely.
But so we have been very successful.
Well, and it's to remind because you know what? If even if they only pull one person off that night, that's one person
That's
that
one
we don't
person.
have to worry about.
Yeah.
Cleaning up off the road later.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
exactly
That's
right.
the part where we got, yeah. So,
Well,
it does seem scripted and over the top, but I guarantee you, every single time you guys are pulling in a couple people that are impaired or intoxicated or doing something. And
Yeah.
and let's face it, it is also a tool to find other stuff.
Yes.
Because you come in and their insurance is not up to date. Oh, by the way, they got a warrant.
Yeah.
Now we just found a guy that's wanted for attempted murder, or we
Yeah.
just found a guy that just
Well-
raped a bunch of people over in one area or doing something like that.
So people didn't hear a lot about DWIs during the COVID time because the bars and everything were closed and the restaurants serving alcohol or whatever. So now, if everyone thinks that this has become a serious pandemic, where the reality is this is something that has been going on, and it has just started back up, and now it seems as though some of these other places that we are dealing with, the administration in the bars and things like that are being hit. State police is out there with their team, and they're citing for alcohol sales, cigarette sales,
Underage, over-serving, stuff like that. Yeah.
All these different things.
To be
and
honest,
it's been
that's
good.
not a bad thing.
No, it is a good
because
thing.
at the end of the day, a bar, an establishment, the
That's right.
bartenders or the servers
right.
are responsible. That's part of their
Yes,
licensing and
it
all
is.
that. That's what their training's
Yeah.
about. Part of that is to determine if someone looks like they're not able to handle this drunk or they're supposed to stop them.
They're supposed to stop.
And so when they go out and kill somebody and you didn't do your part, the onus is on
right.
the bar
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit.
right.
And that's
And
that's
that's-
just being responsible. I know I
Yeah.
get it. People, you're grown people, you make your decisions,
Well-
but if you're knowingly doing that,
Well,
that's
the businesses
not,
businesses have learned that they will be sued and so
that's a good thing.
So, yeah,
for
and
the
it
scope
is.
of things, that's
No,
what
it
needs
is.
to happen.
It is,
Yeah.
but I believe that's helping with that. But what we do have is people still showing up to certain events and they do all the drinking in the car.
Yeah, we call that pre-gaming.
Yes. That's right, yeah. So they do all the drinking in the car.
Yeah.
And then they go in, they'll have a couple drinks, they'll come back out and they'll hit the hard stuff in the car again. And so we've been going around through the parking lots. We've been doing a lot of things. Another thing that we're doing and Lieutenant Drake has been working on is getting us license plate readers. So as we're going down the road, it reads how many license plates that read?
Cool. I've seen some of that.
Depends on the traffic.
I've seen some of that technology like on TV and things where they've used it.
It'll be mounted to our cars.
It's literally like you could put it on a road and it just be eyeballs, and every vehicle with a license plate on that, it scans it and will flag ones that are stolen or warrants or any.
Right.
If someone's looking for these people, it will let them know.
It will let them know.
Real
And
quick.
so we are in the process of getting that. And then the other thing that I am excited about is I'm getting the grapplers that come out of your front bumper and grab the tire of the car.
So if you do a police chase or something and you can end it early, by shutting down the back wheel and no wheels, no go. It's kind of hard. You ain't got no wheels, you can't roll.
We already know with these license plate readers that
You're
we're
gonna
going to find a lot more.
That's a huge tool.
So your pursuits are going to increase.
I've seen different types of those. Is this the one that has like the net that kind of goes under the back wheels and then kind of gums up the rear axle?
Oh, yes.
Cool.
So,
okay.
And that net can be used up to 50 times.
Okay.
But
I didn't know how. That's what I was wondering. Like, once that thing, how do you untangle that bad boy? Is it a pain in the butt or what?
It's very simple. Yeah. And one of the things,
and that's got to be more effective than even spike strips and things, because those, we see those in action. They're hit or miss. It's like if the officer nails it, then it works. But you got to play a game to get that.
Yeah, stop sticks are great.
This one seems a little.
Stop sticks are great, but the dangerous part about it is it's deadly to the officer setting it up.
And not to mention they see it coming, and I don't know how many times you watch Live PD or one of these shows, they throw it out and the guy's able to navigate around
and
it.
once they hit a spike strip, it slowly deflates the tire, and they're still able to drive.
Not to mention how many accidental pop-ins you had when you got the cop instead of the guy in front because it did slide out
and we've had that happen. We've had that happen numerous times. Well, who'd you get? Oh,
I got Lieutenant Drake. So, he's apprehended.
But with this grapplers, I'm going to have one or two, I don't know yet, per shift, and as they go, they're going to come out.
Can they mount on any police vehicle, or do they have to be like one of the trucks?
All the vehicles that we have, they can mount on them.
Okay, cool. I was like SUV. I imagine like a car, it might be a little too heavy.
It stops it right there.
It stops it.
Yeah, I've seen like the videos and stuff for doing it. I'm like, it's a cool
It
technology.
is really amazing. And so Albuquerque is looking at getting, I think they said 30 of them. State Police also looking at getting a couple. But we're going to be really in the state of New Mexico. We're really some of the first ones to get them, and we are ready to.
Excellent.
I am excited about it. I think it's going to be immediate results. But not only that, the word of mouth is going to go out. Do you really want to damage everything you got to try to get away from having a little bit of
and I imagine for law enforcement in our part of the country, they're much more neat. Like you get east or in a city.
Yep.
Yeah, there's more people, more everything. Yeah. But it's harder to have a high-speed chase when there's traffic everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Going through, trying to...
We're out here, you hit the highway, and they can hit 150 miles an hour, before...
Even going down Washington.
Yeah, so it's... You need these tools here where maybe even back where it's a more densely pop. It's like, because you can't get up the speeds that way.
Yeah.
You can't. It's a little hard because of rush hour.
So one thing like we know is a high-speed chase is deadly, but a chase itself is deadly. Because it doesn't take much. We're watching a 30-mile-per-hour crash.
Sure.
Can kill people.
And that's why there's the debates in law enforcement. They still go back and forth on when to call off a thing. And now it seems like the standards now, as soon as it gets populated, kind of the rule of thumb is to shut her down, and we'll catch them later.
Yep,
but if it's out here on 285 and there's you and the guy, and then let's go hunt them down.
Yeah, if it's just you and the person who's running, that's we do that. But if they've got somebody in the car, or they've already
children, or
killed somebody or hurt somebody.
That's the thing. I mean, we saw this in Albuquerque this past week with the Amber Alert. She took off, rammed the state police unit with the kid in the car, and they
thank God that turned out okay for everybody involved.
Exactly.
But you're right.
So right now we've got some good things that are coming. We just got our firearms training system. This thing was like an 80,000. That was more than that. It was a lot more than that. But we got this firearms training system now that's like the goggles you put on, and we've been running our guys through that. And let me tell you what.
Is it kind of like Top Golf, but with firearms? Like the VR?
That's what it is. But let me tell you, the scenarios are so real.
Yeah.
And we watch, and Charles and myself.
Are they in charge?
So that's right. So Charles and myself, we're the ones who are running this. And let me tell you something. When you bring these guys in and you put them through this, it is so good to see that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That they handle things right, that they're doing a good job. And
it's all muscle memory. It's all second. When the action hits, your training, your muscle memory, your instincts, that's what kicks in. And so that training is it's establishing
important.
that.
And with the simulator, we're able to implement all the tools like Taser, OC, all that stuff.
Yeah, we might have to get you over there one day to try it out.
I love blowing things up.
Yep, that's probably good, I'll tell you. So and so that's one of the things to do. Bring people in, let them see this. let them go through a situation that we deal with.
Yeah.
And see what they
See how the
they
shoe's
would
on the other foot. Walk a mile. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to get the county manager and some of the commissioners and all them in there to do that. But things are going very well, and we right now the Chaves County, actually, this part of New Mexico has always been great. But let me just tell you, the people stepping up to help with law enforcement is unbelievable.
We're an area that we back our blue, and we believe that
we're very blessed.
You know, when we see a law enforcement officer standing on a street corner, that's a person we run to, not a person we go to complain to or run from.
Not trying to
that's
get
how
them
we
fired.
see it,
That's
and we understand that what every deputy, every state trooper, every Roswell Police Department officer does. On a daily basis is for us, and so you know, if you do something wrong, they're going to catch you. But at the end of the day, that's the thing too. Is it's still the professional treat. I don't know. Every day your deputies are out there and people are doing stuff and going on, but you know what? More often than not, you're doing more help than arresting and things. Yeah, okay, you're going to jail, but we're turning your life around.
That's right.
And how many times has that happened where there's been people that were homeless or your frequent flyers.
Yes.
And some of those folks, through your mentorship, basically, how many times have I got to see you? How many times I got to do this? How many times, you know, that's what deputies do. They're mentors to these folks because they see them every week.
When we deal with somebody, it's usually in their darkest time. And they may hate us then, but I've had multiple times where people have came back a year from now. Hey, remember me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks to your wake-up call, I am now here and celebrating my life with my family.
And that is really and truly, that is more often the type of thing that happens than somebody coming up upset at you. It doesn't happen. But one thing I also wanted to put out there, we are looking to get 2 more canines for the Chaves County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And I would like to ask the people of Chaves County and the surrounding areas if you're willing to assist us with that.
Yeah.
We
the funding for that is there's not a lot from the state and other sources. So a lot of the canine stuff's been privately funded through donations and things, and we're very blessed.
Absolutely.
But like you said, we want to add to the kennel here a little bit.
Yes, we do.
So we're asking the public to step up again so we can get, because it does cost quite a bit of money to get a trained canine unit paired with a deputy here and do all that.
It's $12,000 is what it costs for that. And what's crazy is the cage that you keep them inside your unit is $12,000.
You just can't go to Walmart and
buy one of those dog carriers. So it is really a crazy thing. But
you get them for about $50-$80.
So we would like to ask, the community, if you're willing to donate to the Chaves County Sheriff's Office. You can do that, and if you just contact us, we'll tell you how to go about doing it. You can also do it through a nonprofit.
I know you have the Friends of Chaves County Sheriff.
So we're actually using another nonprofit to do that. And once we get, if you just contact me at 575-626-8915, that is my cell phone number.
You'll put them in touch with those folks.
And I'll put them in touch with those people, and we can get that going. And the sooner the better, because we do have things right now that are out there that are killing people. Fentanyl is at the top of the list.
Those
methamphetamine and everything else is still there.
Those canine units are a valuable tool.
Are. We are getting so much.
It was, quite frankly, the years of hiatus, we had no canine units in Roswell. I was always scratching my head. Why do we not have canine units?
Yeah.
And of course, the thing was, it's too expensive to the insurance. And now that we're starting to see they're back in, we're really saying, no, the juice is so much worth the squeeze here. We need these units, these canine, these officers, these canine officers to help us out.
And my 2 that we have right now doing a fantastic job. The city has 1 canine officer, I believe, right now, and he's working with us, and he helps out with my guys all the time, and they help him. But we use them at the jails. We use them everywhere. So it is a necessary tool for us, and right now we will pay for the service and everything. The local veterinarian here in town, he actually does all the medical care, all the shots, everything for them. We have people who give them baths, So
they're well maintained.
They are well maintained,
so.
Look very good and well fed. So we make sure that they're taken care of. So your investment into this is very important, but we take them very serious, and they're part of a team.
Absolutely.
And so we need that.
So please support. That's a great way. And trust me, you'll be very thankful if there's ever a situation where one of those dogs might save your bacon.
Absolutely.
Or help you navigate whatever problems you're having.
Right. Yep, that's right.
All of a sudden, you're like, we need about 10 more of these bad boys.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they're really good.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate
Thank you.
it. And
Thank you.
I'm sure you got a few fires, pardon the pun, to stomp out here a little bit, right?
We don't want no more of those. But like I said, I want to end this with, it is just so good to see how all the agencies work together in such a crazy event that you just never would expect. You know, one thing that we know is that here in Roswell, we've had houses burned down, we've had some other things, but nothing to this extent. And how many agencies it took to do this was impressive on how they all came together as a team. So
Absolutely.
It was a good
Well,
thing.
this is why the training, this is why it all kicks in for nights like last night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we saw
we
the
pray we
best
don't
in
have
our
any more.
area do
Yep.
exactly what they do. And that is so awesome.
And
So,
we don't
yeah.
want to see another one.
No.
So that's
No.
it. So we're good.
But
with
they'll
that.
be ready if there is.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go. Absolutely. So
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you guys do. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Yes, you will.
All right.
Perfect.
Get
Thank you.
Get some drunk drivers on
We're
that
gonna
big
go
net
knock-
this week. This
We're gonna
month
knock
here.
them out. That's what we'll do. But yeah, we thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, if you were told timeshares are a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. At Westlake Financial Group, we're dedicated to helping timeshare owners get out of their financial nightmare. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-256-5533. That's 800-256-5533. 800-256-5533.
His departure was given wide coverage on Chinese state media, indicating the prestige associated with this new vessel. Workers were shown waving the ship off from the dockside. Its development is part of Xi Jinping's project to make China a formidable sea power in waters near and far. But it might be a year or more before the Fujian is put into service, and China still has some way to go to catch up with its main regional rival, the United States, which has 11 aircraft carriers.
BBC correspondent Michael Bristow. Police say an accident involving a trailer in Kandern, that's in southwestern Germany, has left 30 people injured, 10 of them seriously. The trailer was being pulled by an agriculture machine that overturned. The reports say the people on the trailer were celebrating May Day. Breaking news at townhall.com. Heads up if you drive a Ford pickup truck.
Ford is recalling nearly 243,000 Maverick small pickup trucks in the U.S. because the taillights may not illuminate. The company says a computer can falsely detect too much current on one or both of the lights, causing them to remain dark while the vehicles are moving. Federal auto safety regulators say that increases the risk of a crash. Rich Thomason reporting.
The Biden administration will cancel $6 billion in student loans for people who attended the Art Institutes, which closed its campuses in 2023 amid accusations of fraud. The final season of the Pac-12 turned out to be a big hit in the NFL draft. The conference is breaking up with 10 schools joining new leagues next season. The conference had the number 1 pick with Southern Cal's Caleb